Welcome to Fanfiction Audiobook. Marvel, Master Ancient One, I'm going down. 061 Green Titan is online. Nick Fury's worry. Now for a breaking news. While the two were chatting, a sudden piece of news appeared on TV. Today, a giant of greens had a great battle with the army. The military suffered heavy losses. A helicopter gunship crashed and several military vehicles exploded. There are countless wounded soldiers. Most importantly, this green behemoth managed to escape the pursuit of the military in the end. Military special notice. Everyone who sees this big green man should call the police immediately. In the picture, it is the scene of the battle between the Green Titan and General Ross Men. Oops, Sieti. Is it true that your military can't afford to die? He had just suffered a loss in hammer industry, and his memory was not improved at all, so he went to provoke that guy again. Tony had a look of disbelief. The Green Titan thing, last time Nick Fury made it into the Avengers he briefly revealed a little bit. After that Tony used his power to investigate everything about the Green Titan. He knew this guy was not easy to handle. But I didn't expect that the military would go so far as to tease the other party. What happens next will definitely be exciting. This matter has nothing to do with you. Rode looked at the news above and was even more helpless. He already knew some news. I know that other people in the military took advantage of Hammer Industries' mistakes this time. Directly and suddenly, he gained the upper hand. It made their super soldier plan, which had been shelved for a long time, come online again. The target of the super soldier is the Green Titan. Last time, their military failed to hunt down the Green Titan. This time they made more preparations. I thought it would be successful. As a result, it still failed this time. Green Titan's strength always seems to exceed their imagination. Hearing Colonel Rhodes' explanation, Tony finally found out that there was something to him about this matter. In this way, he seems to have no reason to talk about the other party. Forget it, you wear the armor away, and if necessary, you stop it. Tony chased people away. He began to feel a crisis in his heart. An inexplicable crisis. And you? Me? I will continue to study my new mecha. I don't plan to go out until the mecha is made. Tony gave an unexpected answer directly. Such a high-profile Tony didn't go out this time. Nick Fury saw the message from Tony. He didn't care about the tragedy of Hammer Industry. He has seen too many things like this. Tony Stark. This guy really doesn't make people feel at ease wherever he goes. But it seems that he maintains a good relationship with that mysterious Oriental mage. Moreover, that Eastern mage seems to be willing to help people. In this way, he may be able to ask him for help in the next matter. Nick Fury mutters to himself as he watches the latest news in S.H.I.E.L.D.'s office. This is not the only message he received. Sent Phil Coulson to New Mexico not long ago. That hammer over there actually brought out the mythical character Thor in Legendary. It was unbelievable even with his composure when he heard the news. This incident had an impact on him even more than when Kroll came to Earth. Carol told him when she came that she was an alien. For them who have been studying space, the existence of aliens has always been their guesswork. But Thor is an ancient god that has been rumored on the Earth. He was really down. The meaning behind this incident is the most terrifying. There is Thor, and there is Odin. So is there still Zeus? And Athena? This time Thor can descend. So who will it be next time? Thinking of this, he felt a pain in his forehead. But the slightly favorable news this time is that they are not the only ones S.H.I.E.L.D. are paying attention to. The mysterious Oriental mage group is also paying attention to these. Even know these things better than they do. During this time he has been looking at Legendary, an Oriental mythology. It is found that the legendary of the Orientals is fundamentally different from them. It mends the sky, controls the water, makes fire. Looks like a good history of struggle. Is it possible? Are they the human forces that oversee these gods? Thinking of this, Nick Fury's mind was buzzing. How can there be such a terrifying force on the earth? So, is Qin Hao the spokesperson arranged by the mage group in the world? This idea was deeply imprinted in his mind. At this moment, a piece of latest information reached him. General Ross led people to capture the Green Titan and failed. It describes the whole thing in detail. There is even the matter of the other party making the super soldier Brinsky. Nick Fury sighed after reading the information. General Ross, aren't you afraid to make another Green Titan? This is a plan approved by your military, and we, S.H.I.E.L.D, don't want to get involved. But last time Mage from the East talked about the big green man, so are they also paying attention to the Green Titan? I might try to sound out his tone. Nick Fury had a plan, quickly took out his phone and dialed a number. 062, binding Green Titan serum energy. Super strong body. Banner at the moment feels uneasy. He is receiving serum inhibitor injections in Dr. Lan's laboratory. He fears. He is afraid of failure. I am also afraid that I will hurt my girlfriend Betty if I lose control. Bruce, hey, Bruce, don't be afraid, I believe in you. Betty constantly comforted each other. Dr. Lan also talked about the possible dangers of this matter. Even he has repeatedly stated that he does not know whether this experiment directly and permanently eliminates gamma rays, or just suppresses the shape-shifting this time. No way, his experimental data is still too little. Qin Hao opened the door of the secret method and could see clearly from a corner. Although I don't understand how the gamma rays discussed by the two doctors mutated Banner. But it doesn't prevent Qin Hao from eating melons with great relish. Just then, his phone rang. Hello, who is it? Qin Hao connected to this strange phone number. Qin Mage, I'm Nick Fury. Nick Fury? What do you want from me? He was a little curious, how Nick Fury would even think of calling himself. Oh, it's like this. Last time you reminded me to be careful of the Green Titan, but recently someone is chasing the Green Titan. Have you paid attention to this matter? Nick Fury gets things straight. What he wanted to test was Eastern Mage's attitude towards the Green Titan. Because the Green Titan is on his Avengers plan list. He wondered what this mysterious Oriental Mage was thinking. Oh, this thing, I'm watching right here. Qin Hao said indifferently. Ah? Are you watching over there? Is something going to happen over there? Nick Fury was both surprised and normal when he heard the news. Since the other party can know these things, they will definitely have their own preparations. After all, they S.H.I.E.L.D seem to have been around only a few decades ago. The mysterious Oriental Mage group has been around for at least hundreds of years. They must know more than themselves. But what surprised him even more was that Qin Hao said that he was watching now. This means that something is likely to happen next. It's okay. I'll watch over here. If something goes wrong, I'll deal with it. Hang up, I'm a little busy here. Qin Hao hung up the phone. He's not in the mood to schmooze with Nick Fury at the moment. Things are getting more and more interesting here. Just now, the Green Titan was arrested, and Brinsky successfully injected the serum of the Green Titan, turning into an abomination. Brinsky, in the form of abomination, rushed straight into the street. He wants to find an opponent who can fight him. And that opponent is the Green Titan. Originally, Qin Hao wanted to take down the abomination now, but after thinking about it, he decided to forget it. Don't rush to change the plot this time. Otherwise, Ross will take Banner away, and then the trouble will be big. Or let them play a game first. In the end, just take away the hatred yourself. Came to Dr. Lan's laboratory. At the moment, Dr. Lan has just been dripped onto his forehead by the Green Titan serum. His brain is undergoing unknown changes. Qin Hao looked at Dr. Lan, who fell to the ground, and the other party seemed to be immersed in the pleasure of evolution. Subconsciously, he touched the Green Titan's serum curiously. Ding! The serum energy of the Green Titan has been detected. Is it bound? Hearing this system information, Qin Hao was taken aback. Green Titan serum energy. This title is very interesting. If it is the serum of the Green Titan, a bottle of items containing the serum of the Green Titan may appear after binding yourself. But what the system prompts is the serum energy of the Green Titan. Energy. The Green Titan is mainly mutated by the gamma ray attack. Whenever Dr. Banner is angry, the Green Titan will appear. But Qin Hao at the moment already has a very powerful force. He doesn't seem to need to change again. So the Green Titan's serum energy theoretically doesn't need to be bound. But the system has always been repulsive to the power that will cause itself to transform. Whether it is steel or mystique, the direct prompts cannot be bound. But why can the serum energy of the Green Titan be bound? This incident seems to represent a different meaning behind it. The system should not harm me, then, bind. Ding! Bind the Green Titan serum energy. The system sound fell, and a strange feeling circulated in Qin Hao's body. All the muscles in his body were constantly wriggling. The spine on the back is like a big dragon, constantly rolling under the skin. His heart at the moment is like a heavy drum, bang 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 non-stop. His whole body is constantly expanding and shrinking. So back and forth. It seems to be looking for a point of balance. After a long time, his body finally stopped changing. Hey! Qin Hao let out a long breath. He felt huge amounts of difference. The change this time is even equivalent to the change when the body density of Thor was bound to 3 times the mortal body at that time. At the moment, his body is one size bigger than it looks. Originally less than 1.8 meters tall, at the moment went straight to 1.9 meters. Not only that, his body is now muscular. Just by looking at it, you will feel that it has huge power. His physical strength has even reached the level of a common Green Titan. You know, Thor's body is so resistant because of its divine power. Thor, who had no divine power, was slapped to the brink of death by the destroyer. But the Green Titan relies on physical strength to resist. Can withstand Thor's various devastation. Bullets and shells have basically no other effect on him except pain. Qin Hao at the moment, under the energy transformation of the Green Titan serum, directly possesses the physical strength and power of the common Green Titan. There are dozens of tons of power in every gesture. Moreover, he will not transform twice. In other words, he is what he looks like in at the moment. Will not transform into another form due to anger and so on. These are not the most important. 063 Qin Hao's plan. Capture the abomination. Qin Hao's body now has gamma ray energy. This sentence was specially emphasized in his system display. Divine grade pickup binding system. Equipment, item picking and binding, unique. Knowledge, experience, skills, constitution class pickup and binding, copy. Bound ability. 1 longevity, 24 years/2500 years. 9 3 times the body density of mortals. 1 0. Concrete magic weapon. 1 1. Vision and hearing, Heimdall. 1 2. Green Titan serum energy, gamma ray energy. He now has the energy of gamma rays in his ability. This ability reminded him of what Dr. Banner said in the 4th season of the Avengers Alliance. Only his body can withstand the energy of gamma rays. Because the energy emitted by infinite gems is exactly gamma rays. The heavy responsibility of snapping the fingers finally fell on the Green Titan. A bold guess emerged in Qin Hao's mind. Now I also have the energy of gamma rays in my body. Does it mean that I now have the ability to withstand the power of infinite gems? He even had a bolder guess. Now that he binds Tesseract, will he directly absorb the power of cosmic magic? Just like Carol, after awakening, the physical body crosses the void. Thinking of this, Qin Hao's eyes became a little strange. If this is the case, then the future might actually be interesting. The body transformation on his side was over, and the noisy voice outside came in constantly. The horrible body of abhorrence is constantly galloping through the streets. No matter what is in front of him, it will be torn to pieces by him. Hulk! Come out and fight! He casually overturned a car blocking him. General Ross soldiers at the moment are constantly pouring bullets on the abomination. But, apart from the pain, those bullets hit him, but they didn't break his defense at all. Even a cannonball was directly held in the hands of the abomination. The flames of the explosion didn't even blacken his body. You are all too weak. Go away, don't mess with me. Hulk! Get out of here! He picked up a car casually and smashed it towards the armored combat vehicle in the distance. Boom! Boom! The sound of car explosions resounded continuously throughout the block. Qin Hao shook his neck. Then walked towards the place where the explosion was the most intense outside. He's going to watch the Hulk fight the abomination for a while. This is a contest of strength. It is also an aesthetic of violence. Qin Hao wants to go and see for himself what kind of fight they will make. Moreover, he said that he would take away the hatred, and he would take it away. Because of the miscarriage of the follow-up filming of Invincible Hulk, Dr. Lan and Abomination have all become extinct. Originally, he wanted to take the hatred away, just because it was an unimportant supporting role. It doesn't matter much to take away. He wanted to take it away to see if he could touch something good from him. But now he doesn't think so. What he has to do is to control the hatred. Let him practice fighting with him. His physical body is now as terrifying as a green titan. If such a powerful physical body does not practice melee combat, it will be a waste. As for the mages on Camartage, who among them dares to fight with him now? One slap of oneself can slap the opponent into a ball of meat. Only if you hate being so patient can you be your own dish. He controls a long sword and stands on it by himself. Fly straight through the air, heading for the explosion. He maintained a height of 2 floors from the street, and kept shuttling through the block. Looking up, the armed helicopter roared overhead. Banner at the moment should be on that plane. Turning a corner, Qin Hao finally found the abomination that was still violent. Hulk! Come out and fight me! These people are too weak. Is there no one who can fight? Then I will not be polite. The mouth of hatred growled constantly. The situation here was filmed and posted online. Countless people looked in amazement at the yellow titan that smashed cars crazily. They were extremely shocked. What exactly is this kind of thing? In our world, how many things do we not know? Who will stop him from such a horrible thing? Qin Hao looked disgusted. Inexplicably, an impulse to fight with one appeared in his heart. That kind of violent aesthetics seems to be what I yearn for. This urge to fight should be a side effect of the Green Titan serum. I used to be an excellent young man who could join in the fun, but never took the initiative to fight. But now there is an urge to reason with fists. It's like this, no wonder Hulk is so angry. It's no wonder that abominations affected by Hulk's serum are obsessed with fighting. Qin Hao suppressed his impulse. Immediately afterwards, a figure was seen falling from the plane. Hee, it looks like the fun is about to begin. 064 The Hulk and the Abominable Battle. Boom! A figure fell directly from the sky to the street. A deep hole was smashed into the flat road. The movement here naturally attracted the attention of hatred. Kong! A green arm emerges from the pit. Crack! Crack! A huge green figure crawled out slowly. He tore off the torn clothes casually. Roar! The violent sound resounded throughout the block. The abomination in the distance heard the sound. The whole person became extremely excited. Hulk! I've been waiting for you for a long time. Hate charged straight at Hulk. Hulk sees this. He also rushed over without saying a word. Reckless? He was never afraid. Boom! Kong dang! Two huge bodies collided together. But Brinsky is a well-trained special forces. His fighting skills and awareness far surpass the Hulk. Moreover, he, who turned into hatred, still maintains his own consciousness. That's what makes him scarier than the Hulk. The results of unconscious destruction and conscious destruction are naturally different. Hate leaned over and threw Hulk to the ground. Not only that, the abomination is a nice leverage when it hits the ground. Knocked the Hulk straight out. Boom! 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 Hulk rolled and fell to pieces. The transformed Hulk was directly at a disadvantage in the first round. Come on! Hulk! Hate stepped on a car and growled condescendingly. An angry Hulk smashed a police car with two fists. Hold the front half in one hand and the second half in the other. Like a glove. The hatred who charged again was hit by these two gloves with a set of combined punches. In the end, Hulk smashed the abomination directly with a punch. And he himself followed. Holding down the hatred is an old punch. Boom! 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 The berserk fist swayed from side to side in disgust. But the hatred just spat in disgust. Is this the amount of patience? Hulk was furious, gathering strength to punch. The abomination is far more combat-minded than the Hulk. When Hulk's fist was about to come down, he saw the opportunity and kicked Hulk away. The violent force sent Hulk smashing through a row of houses. Immediately afterwards, the abomination made a beeline for the Hulk-smashed house. He's going to get the Hulk. General Ross in the sky at the moment was obviously a little embarrassed. He obviously came to capture the Green Titan. But suddenly another guy as terrifying as the Green Titan appeared. And this guy is probably Brinsky in the Super Soldier project. Because only that guy ever got super serum injections. This is the most difficult to accept. He should be his soldier, but now he is wreaking havoc. And the Green Titan that I have been persecuting has become Hope. Could it be that his daughter is right? Are you really wrong from the beginning? Soldier, get ready to shoot, help that big guy. Help who? That green one. Bastard, who else could it be? Shoot that big yellow one. General Ross finally gave the order on the plane. The gunship began to lower slowly. But at this moment, a mysterious Oriental man suddenly appeared by the plane door. Hey, you better stay out of the way. You. The moment Ross saw Shin Hao, his pupils constricted. The opponent stepped on a sword, and then flew directly to the height of the plane. Mutant? He denied this idea as soon as it came up. His pupils contracted again. Orientals. That mysterious Oriental mage. The other party rescued Tony at Hammer Industrial Park. And the Oriental man who captured the troublemaker Ivan. In that accident, the other party also prevented dozens of explosions. He is the hero who saves countless lives. Moreover, it is precisely because of the failure of Hammer Industries' mechanical armor development plan. Only his own super soldier plan can go online again. Otherwise, if you want to become a super soldier, you can only do it quietly. Originally, I wanted to take this opportunity to deal with the Green Titan. Let him run away last time. This time, he succeeded in capturing Banner. However, another guy with the same destructive power appeared. And this guy deliberately sabotaged it. The purpose is to fight. This is simply his own nightmare. I have no choice but to let the Green Titan come out to fight with it. Today's street is chaotic by two people. Finally, I made up my mind to help the Green Titan take down the yellow monster. The mysterious Oriental man who stopped Hammer actually asked himself not to interfere. The point is, he is flying in mid-air. He is flying. This is horrible. What's even more frightening is that everything seems to be under his surveillance. So, has the plan on my side been monitored by the other party? General Ross calmed himself down a bit. What do you mean? It literally means that you can't be opponents of each other at all. You also know that you have failed many times, why don't you have a long memory? I will do the following things. 065 Qin Hao strikes. Three-way melee. After Qin Hao finished speaking, a magic door appeared in his hand. On the ground, the Hulk and the Abomination were wrestling. The houses along the street are like paper. It was torn apart by the two at will. The door of the secret method disappeared in an instant, directly transporting the two of them to a wilderness. Immediately afterwards, Qin Hao's figure followed and disappeared in New York. Hulk and Abomination, who were wrestling, felt the changes around them. The once crowded neighborhoods disappeared. At the moment, the once bustling urban area has become a wasteland. The sound of the original explosion completely disappeared. A circle of yellow light shone in the distance. On the other side of the circle, a small figure flew over from there. Who are you? The Abomination, at the moment, who has always wanted to fight, obviously has the slightest defense. For this unexpected thing, he had a bad mood in his heart. As for Hulk, at the moment, although he was angry, he also had doubts on his face. This place is no longer New York. Even this place is already done. It doesn't matter who I am, the important thing is, you two can continue to fight. There is no one else here, so you don't have to worry about breaking things or hurting people. Qin Hao grinned. Speaking insane things. Let two titans fight, is this treating them as gladiators? Ha, stupid mortal, what do you think of us? If you want to hit me, you have to kill you first. Hate at the moment there is anger in my heart. His huge body rushed towards Qin Hao at a speed beyond normal. Qin Hao put his feet on the ground and retracted the adamantium maternity inspection sword. He clenched his fists with both hands, concentrated all his strength, and swung his fist at the fast-moving hatred. Boom! The two fists collided like cannonballs. That strong impact set off ripples in the air. The surrounding ground was even directly torn by the air. Boom! Immediately afterwards, a figure flew out at a speed that broke through the sound barrier. Qin Hao was directly smashed into the air in this confrontation. The disparity between his physical appearance and disgust is too great. Moreover, his fighting consciousness is more than a little bit worse than the hatred of Brinsky's incarnation. Qin Hao's movements were full of flaws in the eyes of hatred. With one punch, Qin Hao was thrown flying hundreds of meters. After he landed, he drew a long trace on the ground. Hey, a mortal dares to be so rampant! Roar! Hulk watched helplessly as Qin Hao was sent flying by the Abomination. At the moment, he was also very angry. Hatred is his adversary. But the other party dared to do other things. This is simply not taking him seriously. Rage's Hulk kicked hard, heading straight for the Abomination. Well done, let's fight again. Two huge amounts of figures fought together again. As for Qin Hao, who was beaten into the air just now, no one cares. Hey! Qin Hao crawled out of the mud. He was a little confused at the moment, and he had a serious concussion. Hate this, it really stunned him. His body is mostly fine. Even if there is a little injury, he recovers quickly under his own powerful self-healing ability. Damn it, the difference in body size is really hard to ignore. Also, the basic power of the Abomination seems to be more terrifying than the Hulk. At least Hulk, who was not angry, was always suppressed by hatred. Qin Hao remembers it clearly. At the beginning, the hatred and the Hulk fought. As the two wrestled, the bone spur from hate's elbow pierced directly into Hulk's chest. Hulk still sees Betty trapped in the burning plane. The whole person exploded in anger, and only then won the subsequent wrestling. Self-bound Hulk's serum power. Only up to the most common Hulk powers. Once again, he suffers from a disadvantage in size, and his fighting consciousness is not as good. It seems that it is not surprising that he is sent flying with one punch. Qin Hao shook his head. This time he was beaten into the air. Not only was he not angry, but an excited smile appeared on his face. I said that I want to catch the hatred and train with myself. Now he has strengthened his will. Qin Hao looked at the two figures fighting fiercely opposite him. He stepped forward and rushed towards the opponent. To fight. Then let's have a three-way melee. I am back again. Qin Hao roared, rushing from afar. The two titans who were fighting saw the little guy who had been sent flying at least several hundred meters just now. At the moment rushed towards them furiously. A trace of puzzlement appeared in the eyes of the two titans. What's the situation? This little guy has such tenacious vitality? Qin Hao took advantage of the time when the two were in a daze, and directly punched the two titans who were entangled with each other. Boom! Boom! Qin Hao punched two fat men who weighed 1,000 catties and rolled over tens of meters. Bah, it's really exciting. 066 Crazy Three-Party Melee. Violent punches to the flesh. Bah, it's really exciting. Qin Hao grinned wantonly. Such power. Such a fist-to-flesh feeling. This fearless feeling of not having to worry about getting hurt. It's really cool. Hate slowly stood up straight. He felt that the punch just now was as powerful as that green guy who didn't get angry. In fact, when he punched this little guy flying before, he felt the huge power. The opponent's small body was considered strong if he punched it without breaking it. I had undergone serum transformation at the beginning, and fell apart under Hulk's kick. But now it seems that the opponent's strength far exceeds his imagination. Hulk was thrown flying by Qin Hao's punch, and he got up angrily. Roar! Boom boom boom! After a roar, he rushed directly towards Qin Hao. This little guy actually dared to hit himself. Smash! I want to smash him flat. Boom! An angry punch landed on Qin Hao's body. Baiu! The rapid tearing air sounds sounded again. This time, Qin Hao was sent flying at least 1,000 meters. Ha! Mortals dare to intervene in our battle. Hate looked excitedly at Qin Hao who was beaten into the air. Immediately afterwards, he ran straight at the enraged Hulk again. Roar! Hulk's anger wouldn't dissipate with this punch. Enraged, he began to suppress the hatred in strength. Boom! 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 The violent fists fell on the body of the abomination like raindrops. But at this moment, a space door shining with yellow light appeared again. Stimulated by the energy of the Green Titan serum, Qin Hao returned to the battlefield once again. Fighting! All he wants now is to fight. That crazy, fist-to-hand fight. His mental power can easily suppress his impulse. But Qin Hao from at the moment wanted to let off steam. When he came to this world, he has always lived cautiously. Even following the Ancient One practice. Even knowing that he has a natural magical constitution. Even if you have your own system. Even if he got fairly powerful power. Getting self-healing can ensure that it is very difficult for him to die. He's still a little wary. Because in this world, the ghost knows how many powerful forces exist. If it is like the one played in SHIELD Agent Bureau. The whole earth is constantly repeating in destruction and redemption. How can I be sure that I can survive? That's why he focused his gaze on Carol. If he can cross the void physically, he won't worry about the destruction of an earth. But Carol, didn't he never come back? Get this physical power of the Green Titan today. After that, even if he was in space, he would have time to open another portal to leave. It's not like Ebony Maw, who burps when he enters space. This is what makes him feel the happiest. Vent. He's going to vent now. Boom. Qin Hao went through the gate of the secret method. He landed a furious punch on the Hulk, who was venting. Hulk's body flew another 100 meters. And the suppressed hatred shook his dizzy head. But he hadn't had time to get up. Qin Hao kicked Abomination directly on the head with all his strength. Pfft! Hate rolled on the ground and hit Hulk, who was about to get up over there. Fun! Qin Hao looked at the two titans rolling together over there, and rushed up again. Roll! Tear! Fist to the flesh! The entire wilderness has been completely beaten beyond recognition by the three of them. Roar! The roar spread far and wide in the wilderness. This battle lasted for an unknown amount of time. Qin Hao completely vented his depression during this period of time. If it's a fight between the Abomination and the Hulk, there is bound to be a winner between them. But there was one more Qin Hao, which made the original things even more out of hand. Hulk's anger value gradually increased, and he began to suppress the hatred and fight. But every time this happened, Qin Hao would help the Abomination to hammer the Hulk away. By the end, Hulk's rage had built up to the limit. Both Qin Hao and Abomination had nothing to do with Hulk. Instead, he was pressed and beaten by the opponent. Hey, it looks like today's battle is coming to an end. Qin Hao, who was thrown into the air again, finally gave up the idea of continuing to fight with his body. Hulk's current anger value is no longer something the two of them can resist. Qin Hao withdrew, and Abomination was almost killed by Hulk. Dr. Banner. At the critical moment, Qin Hao shot again, and the powerful spiritual force called Banner's soul in Hulk's mind. The angry Hulk couldn't control it at all. All that can be done is to activate Dr. Banner's thoughts. Roar! Roar! An angry Hulk held his head and struggled. But Dr. Banner gradually gained the upper hand. Where is this? 067 Binding Mirror Dimension. Where is this? The sober Banner looked around suspiciously. This place has been beaten beyond recognition. Obviously, there is credit for his own transformation. And next to it, the Yellow Titan who was wreaking havoc on the streets of New York was unconscious. It seems that he was beaten a bit badly. Qin Hao explained for a long time before letting him know what happened. Afterwards, he brought the unconscious Abomination to Camartage along with Dr. Banner. Boom! Hate's huge body was thrown to the ground by Qin Hao. Immediately afterwards, he directly manipulated a pile of metal to bind the whole body of the Abomination firmly. This is where? Banner looked at this ancient place with some doubts. This is where I practice, Camartage. Next, what are you going to do? Hate is not something you can guard against. You'll see what happens next, and maybe you'll fall in love with this place. Qin Hao smiled inexplicably. And at this time, Big Brother Modo sensed the fluctuation of the secret law gate. He came to Qin Hao's side. Junior brother Qin Hao, you. He glanced at the enveloping loathing on the ground who only showed a terrifying head. The words that came to his lips were swallowed back again. What the hell is this thing? So big and so ugly. Brother Modo, please open the mirror dimension. Qin Hao seriously asked Modo. Mirror dimension? That's right, open the mirror dimension, I'm going to put him in. Junior brother Qin Hao, you need to tell me first, what happened? Modo's eyes became a little dignified. Junior brother Qin Hao meant to keep the other party in the mirror dimension? He will not agree to this matter. This is against the rules. Qin Hao briefly told Modo about Dr. Banner and the Abomination lying on the ground. After listening to Modo, the whole person was extremely shocked. This person with his trousers up is the Green Titan that caused a sensation a few years ago? There was another attack in New York not long ago. Also to hunt down the Green Titan. And the Abomination on the ground that is about to wake up is also a Green Titan-like existence. Only. Why doesn't that guy turn back? Junior brother Qin Hao, they can't stay in Camartage for a long time. After hearing what Qin Hao said, Modo became very serious. These words made Qin Hao and Banner startled. Why? This is against the rules. We in Camartage are not a place for criminals. You have obviously restricted this gentleman's personal freedom by doing so. Moreover, My mirror space study is not very proficient. Put him in my mirror space, and something may happen in the end. Brother Qin Hao, it's better to send them to a place where they can be dealt with. Modo directly rejected Qin Hao's request. He will not break the rules in camartage. Brother Modo, this matter. I said, I won't do it. Modo directly interrupted Qin Hao's words. After he finished speaking, he turned and left, and patted Qin Hao on the shoulder as he passed by. Junior brother Qin Hao, although you are born with a magical constitution, you can't act recklessly like this. Ding, mirror dimension is detected, is it bound? Modo's earnestness made Qin Hao happy. Bind. Ding, bind mirror dimension. Having obtained this ability, Qin Hao's heart is still full of doubts. How so? How long has it been since Master Ancient One left? How could he be bound to the ability Mirror Dimension from Brother Modo? When Ancient One was around before, it wasn't that he didn't try to acquire abilities from this group of seniors. But the results are all failures. Ancient One just left. Qin Hao narrowed his eyes. Master Ancient One has left. So I can bind skills from Brother Modo. It's as if I was bound to Thor's body with 3 times the density of mortals on Earth. Immediately after entering Asgard, Heimdall's sight and hearing can be bound immediately. And now that Ancient One left, he still went to the Dark Dimension. So I can bind Brother Modo's Mirror Dimension here. As long as they are not at the same time, there is no limit to this binding. Qin Hao at the moment finally understood this. Modo walked away from Qin Hao's side. He is a rigid person. He has objections to this kind of thing that obviously does not conform to the rules, and can even be said to be a house arrest of others' freedom. And, what he said was true. His own mirror dimension was simply too small. Compared with Ancient One's ability to turn over a building or a block at will. The mirror dimension he opened now is only a few hundred square meters. In such a small space, if the Loathing and the Green Titan were really shut inside, the two of them would not even have enough room to fight. He seemed to think of something when he walked to the door. Think about what I said, are they really good in our camartage? I've read reports about Green Titan. The physical body of the other party far exceeds that of us common people. Even cannonballs can't destroy it, so if you get angry here, who can stop it? After Modo finished speaking, he disappeared at the door. Banner felt a little depressed when he heard the other party's words. He doesn't know the upper limit of mirror space. He was also worried about what would happen if he transformed inside and broke the space. Your brother is right, maybe I really shouldn't be here. No, it's okay, I'll just take you into my mirror space. After Qin Hao finished speaking, a mirror image space appeared directly in front of him. Your mirror space. 068 Enter the mirror dimension. Nick Fury's shock. Your mirror space. Banner was taken aback. You have a mirror space, why do you need your senior brother to open it? Could it be that your mirror space is too small? Qin Hao manipulated the metal to bring the abomination into his mirror space again. Banner was at a loss. But finally followed in. When he entered this mysterious space, he was completely stunned. Is this a secondary dimension? Or a parallel space, or a space crack? Some inexplicable words popped out of Banner's mouth constantly. Qin Hao smiled slightly. This is the mirror dimension, in which it will not affect the real world. No matter how damaged the inside is, nothing will happen outside. Do you understand what I mean? Banner was taken aback for a moment, and then showed a joyful expression. If I'm inside, even if I transform into a Hulk, it won't affect the outside world, will it? That's right, that's it. Qin Hao replied in the affirmative. After getting this answer, Banner had a never-before-seen smile on his face. Although it looks like a prison here. But it's also better than causing casualties when he loses control. Moreover, ordinary places can't lock him up. So, can this space trap the guy in me, and him? He pointed to the already sober Abomination. Qin Hao came to Abomination's side and looked down at him. Hey, Abomination, Brinsky, what on earth should I call you? Hey, it doesn't matter what you call me, what matters is, do you think you can trap me with this little thing? With a roar of hatred and anger, he slowly broke free from the metal restraints that bound him. Aren't you going to make a move? Banner looked at Qin Hao, who didn't shoot at all. There is some tension on the face. If the hatred breaks free, maybe the green titan in his body will be stimulated to reappear. In that case, it will be troublesome. No. What I'm waiting for is for him to break free. You stand aside and watch, so as not to hurt you in a while. Qin Hao waved his hand casually. A flip in the mirror dimension. Banner, who was very close to Qin Hao and Abomination, walked away without moving. He looked at everything in front of him in astonishment. All of this is beyond his cognition. Even with 7 PhDs, it's hard to understand what's going on now. I don't care who you are, if you dare to catch me, then prepare to meet my wrath. The Abomination finally broke free from those metal shackles. He looked at Qin Hao angrily, with evil excitement on his face again. Although it wasn't long before he was stunned by the Green Titan. But that didn't stop him from looking forward to the fight. Although it clearly doesn't look normal here. But he didn't care at all. Didn't he become an abomination just to experience this powerful power? And now with great power, it is definitely interesting to fight. Come on, let's fight. Hate's huge body rushed towards Qin Hao. It's you who's waiting. Qin Hao was not false at all, and his whole body ran wildly. Catch you in, just for this moment. Boom. Nick Fury has received the latest intel. Their agents are always looking and watching those on the list. And Banner, disappeared since the last battle with the Abomination in New York. Or the Green Titan and the Abomination disappeared together. Nick Fury probably knew where the other party had gone. It must have been taken away by that mysterious Oriental mage. As time passed, the agents sent out never found their presence. The agents had no choice but to report this matter. There was nothing Nick Fury could do about receiving the news. During this time, he has been calling Qin Hao. But the other party's phone is almost impossible to talk to. This gave him an ominous premonition. Open file number New York. Yes, authorization is required. Nick Fury. Authorization accepted, file opened. A somewhat blurry picture is projected three-dimensionally. In the video, a small body, at the moment, is fighting with two huge bodies. The two huge bodies are the Green Titan and the Abomination. That tiny body seemed to be Qin Hao. In the picture, Qin Hao's body looks very strong and muscular. But those little muscles are like little chicks in front of the Green Titan and the Abomination. But it was this little chick who looked about 200 catties. In fact, Qin Hao's body was 3 times that of a common. At this time, he was having a heated fight with those two fat men. Although most of the time, he was the one who was smashed into the air. But no matter how he smashed it, he could always open the portal and return to the battlefield immediately. Then he beat the two heavy fat men and rolled them all over the floor. Afterwards, he continued to be smashed into the air by the two titans who reacted. This is exactly the picture of Qin Hao fighting in the wilderness after taking away the Green Titan and the Abomination that day. Nick Fury paid dearly for this little bit of footage. Every time he looked at it, his mood was inexplicably shocked. This mage. The body is so strong. Abnormally strong. 069 Tesseract changes. Loki is coming. On Qin Hao's profile, Nick Fury saw the phrase flesh body is comparable to Green Titan. He used almost all his strength to investigate the mage group in the East. Got a lot of useful information. Those mages are basically common people with successful cultivation. There are even many disabled people practicing. That is, their bodies are common. It's just that these common people have a lot of magical powers that surpass the common people. For this, Nick Fury is making corresponding preparations. Mage's spell casting takes time. Mage's body was still fragile. So as long as you can kill the opponent before the opponent casts a spell, then this group is actually not terrible. S.H.I.E.L.D. has even begun to develop how to restrain the opponent from casting spells. But the video in front of him directly broke all his plans. This kind of body can compete recklessly with the Green Titan Hulk. What do they use to fight each other? The so-called arrangements made by myself. Is it all a joke? Judging from the known situation, the opponent has a portal to come and go at will. The ability to pause time, Professor X's mental power control, in fact, is not time pause. There is also manipulating metal, which can easily shred steel armor, and even use it to fly. There is also terrifying physical strength. The current information shows that this mysterious Oriental mage is almost unsolvable. All the ways I imagined to deal with each other have lost their meaning. This made Nick Fury feel uncomfortable from the bottom of his heart. Whoever it is, they S.H.I.E.L.D. are on guard again. Even if it is the Green Titan, they are building a special container that can hold the Green Titan. But looking at it now, this Eastern mage may be as difficult as Carol. I don't know if he is willing to join the Avengers. Such a strange idea popped up in Nick Fury's heart. If the other party is willing to join, then their Avengers will be greatly enhanced. Even he can handle most things by himself. But he guessed that the other party was unwilling. Because the other party has repeatedly emphasized that they are already guarding this world. Nick Fury has never understood what the other party is guarding. But at this moment, a phone rang. A phone call that made his heart tremble. How bad it is. Nick Fury brought Hill Agent to the S.H.I.E.L.D. Acceleration Test Center by plane. Phil Coulson is here waiting. That's the problem. Sir, we don't know anything. Phil Coulson spoke helplessly, and then he went on to describe the situation here. Dr. Eric detected a set of data 4 hours ago, and the Tesseract released a powerful energy. NASA did not allow Dr. Eric to perform the test. Nick Fury's expression was a little strange. That's the problem, he didn't test, and he wasn't even there at the time. The energy appeared by itself. It started on its own. Agent Hill looked surprised. That's right. What energy level have you reached now? Nick Fury continued to ask. Still rising constantly. Dr. Eric couldn't shut it down, so we had to order an evacuation. Evacuate faster. Yes, sir. Phil Coulson nodded and turned to continue to preside over the evacuation. Evacuation may not help. Hill Agent has a negative attitude towards this. It's better than doing nothing. You are responsible for taking away all the second-order equipment. You can't leave any research materials here. Yes, sir. Hill Agent also led the team away. Nick Fury enters the lab. What the hell is going on, Doctor? Director, the Tesseract is moving. It also moved on its own initiative. Dr. Eric looked surprised. Have you tried turning off the power? It's useless, it is the energy source itself. We turned off the power supply, and it provides energy to start again. So, Doctor, what preparations have we made before studying this cosmic energy source? No, Director, we don't have the ability to control this energy yet. Because my simulation calculations on it are not done at all. Not only that, it is now releasing interference and radiation. Unleash low-level gamma rays. For the time being, there is no danger. Gamma rays? Those things are not small. Banner came to Nick Fury's mind again. Doctor, the energy has surged again. At this time, the doctor's assistant reported the latest news to him. Hawkeye. I asked you to secure this place, did you see how it was activated? Nick Fury couldn't be more helpful with research. He went directly to Hawkeye Barton, who was in charge of security here. Nobody came in or out, and Dr. Eric had no problems. No one touches here or uses it to pass information. So, if someone is really playing tricks, then he must not be from our side. Barton gave a decisive answer. What's the meaning? Nick Fury has a bad feeling. Someone said that the Tesseract is a door leading to the other end, and the door, but both sides can be opened. Barton gave an irrefutable answer. At this moment, the energy of cosmic magic surged again. Even the naked eye can see the energy shining in the Rubik's Cube. OM! OM! Under the gaze of everyone, cosmic magic released a beam of energy. And this energy beam directly opened a portal. Under the burst of energy, a figure in the portal appeared in front of everyone. Loki. 070 The confrontation between the Chief and Qin Hao. Form the Avengers. Loki. Come down to this base. In his hand he holds a scepter encrusted with a jewel. Sir, please put down the spear in your hand. Nick Fury looked at each other with a heavy face. Loki glanced at the scepter in his hand and grinned. Biu-biu. A powerful wave of energy shot straight at Nick Fury. Seeing the other party making a move, all the agents fired in unison. Da-da-da. Da-da-da. But those bullets hit him like a tickle. Asgard's divine power allows him to be immune to most weapon damage on Earth. These bullets can't hurt him at all. The agent in front of him was knocked to the ground by him. Hawkeye, who had just saved Nick Fury, stood up stiffly. He hadn't had time to raise the gun in his hand. Loki was already at his side. OM! The scepter taps directly on Loki's chest. Facing the mind gem. Even a trained Hawkeye has no chance of escaping. His pupils became pitch black. In the same way, Loki turned all the surviving agents on the scene into his puppets. Nick Fury took this opportunity to directly take down Tesseract. He is leaving. Please put down what you're holding, that's why I'm here. My name is Loki, a god from Asgard. This time I'm in Midgard, and I'm on a mission. The haughty Loki stated his purpose directly. Loki? Thor's brother. Dr. Eric figured out who Loki was in the blink of an eye. In that small town, they witnessed Thor's awakening. Also, witness a human mage turning the destroyer sent down by Loki into his own. I didn't expect anyone to know me. Loki has a wicked smile on his face. Ha, have you forgotten that our Earth still has mage who can deal with you? Last time your destroyer was subdued by others, this time, are you here to die yourself? Eric's words produced an extremely shocking force. Loki at the moment, who was grinning just now, is full of anger. Mage of the East. You mean the Mage of the East? Ha ha ha, let me tell you, this time I came here to trouble him. And all the tragedies you Midgard have suffered because of this will be because of him. Loki growled wildly. Qin Hao is his Nilan. He is the god of trickery. He was fooled by a human mage and left Asgard directly. Although he really wanted to leave, but this kind of being fooled away is definitely not the result he wanted. This is his disgrace. An absolute disgrace. In such a rage, Eric was almost stabbed to death by Loki. It's a pity that Loki still needs Eric to establish a space channel. Loki's scepter hit Eric's chest. Eric, who just refuted Loki, instantly became Loki's man. Nick Fury heard Loki's roar, and a plan took shape in his mind instantly. Originally, he was thinking about how to draw Qin Hao into Avengers. Now is the chance. I personally feel that, as a god of Asgard, if someone troubles you, you should find it yourself. After all, this kind of anger at others should not be something that your proud Protoss would do. Nick Fury began to run on each other in language. After Loki listened, the whole person returned to normal in an instant. Ha, you're right, I'll personally trouble him about this matter. However, what I'm going to do now is to ask you to hand over the box in your hand. Why, we didn't mess with your Asgard Protoss, why did you come to us? The bugs didn't mess with the shoes either. You mean, you're going to trample us to death? No, I want to help you out of bondage, out of false freedom. Because of this slogan, you will have no peace. Loki at the moment's calm face was full of madness. Leave quickly, this place will explode. If you don't leave, we will be buried tens of meters underground. Boom! Hawkeye raised his gun and knocked Nick Fury to the ground. Several people left quickly with boxes containing Tesseract. After some chasing, the other party managed to escape. And this base was completely turned into ruins. Nick Fury looked at the collapsed base. His face became extremely serious. All those who participated in the rescue immediately tracked down the whereabouts of the box. This incident is at level 7. The war has officially begun. Camartage. A yellow portal appeared in the martial arts arena. 2 figures walked out of the portal. And inside the portal is Qin Hao's mirror image dimension. I want to go out too. You've kept me locked up for so long, and you're planning to send me a few more levels. In the mirror dimension, an angry roar sounded. It's not my fault, it's your fault for deceiving me. Last time you were asked to come out, you chose to escape when you came out. Let's talk about it when you stop running. Qin Hao replied to the inside, and then directly closed the mirror dimension. Do you really want to release the hatred next time? Banner asked curiously. As long as he can control his desire to fight, I will release him. Besides, maybe it won't be long before he can really be used. Qin Hao said with a somewhat inexplicable expression. During this time, he has been fighting with the Abomination and the Green Titan in his mirror space. His mirror image space is really too big. In addition, he himself can manipulate that space at will in the mirror space. This made it impossible for both the Abomination and the Green Titan to break through the space and escape. Hatred with Brinsky's wisdom actually understands everything. Last time he pretended to be good for a while, making Qin Hao think that he was really good. So I deliberately released the other party out of the mirror dimension. As a result, this guy ran away as soon as he came out, and even fled directly towards the snow-capped mountains. Over there was the escape route he had observed for a long time in the mirror space. Imagination is beautiful, reality is cruel. Abomination feels the malice of nature in the snowy mountains. Qin Hao used the power of storm to control the weather, and directly set off a violent snowstorm in this uninhabited mountain range. He even used Iceman's freeze to create a place of ultra-low temperature. Even an abomination with almost invincible physical defense would be unable to move an inch under such an attack. Qin Hao's Hung was trapped in a blizzard for 3 days. Then he was thrown back into the mirror dimension again. Since then, the gift of evil seems to have become a lot more honest. And recently it seems to be constantly emphasizing the need to come out. And also made various guarantees to Qin Hao. Jingle bell. At this moment, Qin Hao's phone rang. And the phone number is from Nick Fury. Hi, Commissioner Nick Fury. Qin Mage, we need your help now. Nick Fury got straight to the point this time, without any sloppiness. What's up? A race of Protoss called Loki who claim to be from Asgard has come to Earth. He said that you provoked him last time, and he wanted to trouble you. It's just that he didn't find you, so now he found our SHIELD agency. He destroyed one of our bases, and countless people died as a result. This matter needs to be resolved by you personally. Nick Fury cut to the chase and explained why he called. However, the reason for the matter has been processed. In this way, it seems that they are asking Qin Hao for help. In fact, it was Qin Hao who did something and didn't finish it, and now they have implicated SHIELD. Qin Hao grinned when he heard this. Nick Fury is setting him up. Oh yeah? Did he come through your Tesseract? After coming, they directly grabbed your Tesseract? Even took control of your Dr. Eric working on Tesseract? You privately study energies that you do not yet have control over. Did you really forget about Carol? Qin Hao didn't accept this at all. Instead, he turned Nick Fury into an army. You said that I got you in trouble, but others passed your research. Moreover, you have no control over that thing at all. Nick Fury heard that, the entire 521. How does this mysterious Oriental mage even know this? What else do they not know? Could it be that rs.h.i.e.l.d has an inner ghost? No, the other party also knew everything last time. It appears that the mysterious Eastern groups have their own intelligence agencies. With just one sentence, Nick Fury directly fell into the disadvantage in this confrontation with Qin Hao. He was very fortunate that Qin Hao was not by his side. Otherwise it would be embarrassing. Tesseract has been robbed now. Since the other party goes straight to Tesseract, they will definitely use Tesseract to do bad things. Do you know where Tesseract is? Nick Fury quickly changed the subject. The Tesseract emits gamma rays. I just have someone here who can help you with this knowledge. Dr. Banner, Chief Nick Fury has business with you. Qin Hao handed the phone to Banner. Banner answered the phone curiously. Not knowing what was said there, Banner's expression also became a little dignified. But, I'm afraid I won't be able to control myself. Banner has some hesitation. I don't know what to say over there. Banner finally nodded, okay, let me take a look first. Then he returned the phone to Qin Hao. Director Nick Fury has something to say to you. Qin Hao answered the phone with an inexplicable expression. Qin Mage, S.H.I.E.L.D would like to invite you to join Avengers, I wonder if you are interested. Nick Fury cut to the chase again. As I said, our mage family is guarding very important things, and we have no way to join you for the time being. I'll send Dr. Banner to New York, directly to Tony's mansion, and you'll just pick him up there. Qin Hao declined the other party's invitation. He didn't want to be restricted by the latter agreement. All right, I got it. Qin Hao hung up the phone and glanced at Banner. Next, I will send you to New York first, and then I will probably go to New York as well. After he finished speaking, he directly opened a secret door. Hey, Tony. 071 Ancient One returns. A mirror dimension covering half of New York City. Hey, Tony. As soon as Qin Hao opened the door of the secret method, he saw Tony and Xiaojiali were arguing. There is a quarrel about how much credit Pepper Stark building deserves. Tony and Pepper looked back and saw the portal shining yellow. The two expressed surprise at the moment. Hey Qin Mage. Hi, Qin Mage, long time no see, where have you been all this time? I haven't been in touch with you since those two big monster fights in New York last time. Tony put down the champagne in his hand, and greeted him in 2 or 3 steps. Qin Hao was the one who saved his life twice. It's a long story, let me introduce you, this is Dr. Banner. Dr. Banner. Tony frowned when he heard the name. Well, I'm one of the 2 big monsters in the New York War you said. Banner has always been a relatively humble person. He didn't particularly care about Tony's hurtful words. Tony was slightly embarrassed when he heard this. Nice to meet you, to be honest, your paper on positron collisions is unrivaled. I actually like how you turn into a green titan when you lose your temper. You know, geniuses like us must have a little bit of our own temper. And your temper will make all the people who follow you become very obedient. To be honest, I just want a group of obedient and talented students. Too bad I don't do those studies. Tony quickly changed the subject. And it seems that what he said is true. He really likes the look of the Green Titan. But, I haven't brought any students for a long time. Banner was a little embarrassed. Since he would lose control at any time, it was too late to hide himself, and he would never bring students. It's good that the 2 of you communicate more smoothly. Nick Fury will send someone to your place in a while to form the Avengers. Tony, you already know this very well. This time the people who appeared were the Protoss from Asgard. I think if you want to study it, you can study legendary well. After Qin Hao finished speaking, he was about to turn around and return to Camartage. Hey, Qin Mage, aren't you going? Tony spoke immediately. No, what I want to protect is more important than the guy who came this time. However, if something happens, Banner knows how to find me. After Qin Hao finished speaking, he glanced at Banner. I hope I don't need you. Banner was a little helpless. It was an emergency measure he took, and Qin Hao had to not enter the mirror dimension. Not the best. After Qin Hao finished speaking, he closed the door of the secret method. Back in Camartage, Qin Hao frowned. He felt a strange energy. The energy of darkness invades. Modo's voice echoes in Camartage. Qin Hao was taken aback when he heard the words. Dark energy. Yes, this is dark energy. When Master Ancient One left, he felt such a power zone. Now that the Ancient One is gone, dark forces have invaded Camartage. Could it be? A guess that shocked Qin Hao appeared in his mind. Did something happen to Ancient One? Because of my own arrival, Gu has already left? A powerful dark energy has emerged in Camartage. Countless mages opened their doors one after another and came to the place with the strongest energy. All have activated magic weapons in their hands. The life court scepter in Modo's hand is even more shining. Qin Hao solemnly made a seal. As long as necessary, he will directly pull this place into his mirror dimension. There, it will be at his disposal. Batter. A figure dressed in yellow emerged from the cloud of dark energy. Ancient One Mage. It is the Ancient One Mage who guards the dark dimension is back. Seeing that the Ancient One Mage came out, the other mages breathed a sigh of relief. Master Ancient One. Master Ancient One. All the mages put away their magic one after another and bowed to Ancient One. I feel the space power that breaks the dimension coming to the earth, so this time the monitoring of the dark dimension is suspended. During this time, what happened to the earth? The Ancient One set foot on the land of Camartage. No beating around the bush, just asking directly what happened. Qin Hao frowned. The power of Ancient One Mage seems to have exceeded his expectations. The other party can actually feel the power to break the dimension on the earth in the dark dimension. Everyone was taken aback when they heard Ancient One's words. Including Mordo, none of Mage knew what happened. Qin Hao glanced at Ancient One Mage. Master Ancient One, let's go to Holy Place in New York, and I'll tell you what happened slowly. Okay, everyone disperses, you follow me to New York Holy Place. Modo, you lead Mage to London Holy Place. Wang, you take people to Hong Kong Holy Place. Ancient One arranged the task directly. Yes. The Mage of Camartage departed. Ancient One and Qin Hao went straight to Holy Place in New York. Come to the rooftop of Holy Place in New York. Ancient One opened the eye of Akmato. Instead of asking about the past, it is better to check the future and the past by yourself. After a while, her face became a little strange. What the hell is Odin doing? How did he bring his people to Earth again? Apparently, he saw Loki coming to Earth. But why? Last time it was his eldest son, Thor. This time it was his youngest son, Loki. Is this using the Earth as his testing ground? Or, is Odin too weak to manage Asgard? One guess after another turned in his mind. Qin Hao definitely can't say that this matter actually has his own fault. It was Asgard who persuaded Loki to leave. During the time I was away, how well have you learned from senior brother Modo? Seeing that Qin Hao was silent, Ancient One began to inquire about his practice progress. In her heart, Qin Hao's practice has always been her most concerned issue. I learned a new magic, mirror dimension. Really? Not bad, as long as there is progress. Open it and let me see. Is it here? That's right, it's here. There is a big guy in my mirror dimension, be careful later, don't get hurt by him. Qin Hao reminded kindly. Ancient One slowly turned his head and glanced at Qin Hao. You locked people in the mirror dimension. You'll know when you go in and have a look. After Qin Hao finished speaking, he opened the mirror dimension casually. Hey Qin Mage, did you come to let me out? And, have you come to New York now? I was finally not on that desolate mountain, and I was going crazy looking at the mountain scenery. Just as Ancient One entered Qin Hao's mirror dimension, he heard a hoarse voice roaring. When she took a closer look, there was actually a yellow, ferocious, and terrifying big man inside. My master is here to check my practice, don't make trouble, I will let you out if you behave well. Seeing the other party's appearance, Gu Ri knew why Qin Hao locked him in the mirror dimension. This thing is the product of military experiments. Something out of control. Immediately afterwards, Ancient One was directly shocked by everything on the scene. This mirror dimension. Too big. Her mirror dimension can easily cover several city blocks. This is something she does almost effortlessly. In these few blocks, she can easily flip and reorganize the inside. Definitely, she can also cover larger grounds if necessary. It's just that it needs to consume more energy and magic power. She is even able to unlock a city's mirror dimensional powers when she draws on Dormammu's energy. In Doctor Strange she forcibly snatched control of the mirror space from Caecilius. At that time, a rune communicating with Dormammu appeared on her forehead. However, the mirror dimension opened by at the moment Qin Hao has directly reached the highest level that she can achieve in normal situations. This is definitely not something a person who has just learned the mirror dimension can achieve. Is this the horror of innate magic constitution? With such a large range, it seems easy for you to use it. Your magic can easily support such a large mirror dimension as expected. As long as you learn the magic, you can directly exert the greatest effect. The door of the secret method is like this. The same goes for mirror dimensions. Sure enough, you are a genius in the magic world. Gubian walks in the neighborhood in the mirrored space, while constantly sighing. All of these are attributed to her innate magic essence. What? How do you become a master? You don't even know the strength of your own apprentice. Hate hearing Ancient One's words, the whole person seemed very unhappy. What's the meaning? Ancient One turned his head and looked at the abomination. This mirror dimension magic that you speak of, your apprentice directly covered a mountain in Camartage. You're so shocked that the New York side only covers a few blocks. Hate a look of displeasure. He was the one who suffered the most from Qin Hao. In Camartage, Qin Hao's mirror dimension directly enveloped a mountain. Every time he fought with the Green Titan and Qin Hao inside, it was not a landslide. But it's so much fun. No matter how you fight, no matter what, Qin recovers instantly in his hands. This is the real fight with hands and feet. He hadn't seen any other mage open the mirror dimension. I always thought that every mage could open a mirror dimension as big as Qin Hao. He even learned that Qin Hao had many senior brothers. He also thought that there were more people bigger than what Qin Hao had opened. But now I heard what Master Qin Hao said. It seems that Qin Hao's covering a few blocks is already amazing. Zhao Hezao, this changed his understanding of the mage clan. Perhaps. It's just that Qin Hao is so powerful. When Ancient One heard the words of hatred, her originally calm face was filled with consternation. What he said is true. Well, what he said was true. Qin Hao took a disgusted look, then nodded in agreement. This guy is a bit talkative. Originally, I thought I would just show Ancient One a look, and then leave the mirror dimension immediately. He thought about it, Banner might still lose control this time. When the situation in the sky turns bad, maybe he can save Phil Coulson. As a result, the hatred actually talked too much. Do you want to lock the hatred for another 2 days later? Just as this idea was formed, the hatred suddenly felt a chill in his body. It seems like something bad is going to happen. Show me the largest mirror dimension you can show without spending too much energy. Are you sure? Sure. All right. Qin Hao spread out his hands, and waved his hands outward. Under the gaze of Ancient One, the entire mirrored space is like a world being modeled. They rolled and spread madly towards the outside. The fragment of Lu Li, the light monster unique to the mirror dimension, constantly swallows New York's song. Several blocks. Dozens of blocks. A whole city. Several towns. Most of New York City. When the mirror dimension stopped spreading, more than half of New York City was covered by the mirror dimension. This is my mirror world. 072 banners call for help. Qin Hao and Loki meet again. This is my mirror world. Qin Hao announced his authority to Ancient One. His body. 3 times the density of mortals. It caused a qualitative change in the magic power in his body. This kind of powerful magic power can easily support him to open the magic mirror dimension, which continuously consumes magic power. And Professor X's huge spiritual power allows him to grasp every inch of space in the mirror dimension. Hulk's generally strong body and self-healing of strengthening +2 allow his body to easily withstand any pressure. All of this made Qin Hao able to control such a terrifying range at will. Ancient One looked at this huge mirror dimension. He took another look at Qin Hao, who was not at all overdrawn by magic power or spiritual power. She confirmed once again that Qin Hao is the future supreme mage. Well, Doctor Strange can only be regarded as a backup option. Very good, when you learn more magic, you will be the supreme mage. Ancient One showed her heart once again. Qin Hao was a little uncomfortable when he heard the words. If he is the supreme mage, what about Doctor Strange? He waved his hand, and a portal opened directly to the holy place rooftop. Let's talk outside, and monitor the situation outside in an instant. Qin Hao and Ancient One walked out. Abomination followed with some trepidation. Hey, can I come out too? No, I'm waiting for a while, I will definitely let you out today. After Qin Hao finished speaking, he closed the door of the secret method. Ah! It's so boring in here. The voice of hatred came out before the arcane door closed. How long are you going to keep him locked up? Ancient One looked at Qin Hao. It should be possible to release him within today, but it might not be possible. Qin Hao did not give an accurate answer. He has his own plan in mind. Today's New York battle will happen as scheduled. However, today's New York battle will not be the same as before. Because I am in New York. It's good for you 043 to know in your own mind. Before I went to the dark dimension, your strength has already surpassed almost all mage in Camartage. Even Big Brother Modo is no longer your opponent. Your magical constitution is simply too powerful. So you have to make good use of your strength and don't make some wrong decisions. Don't be fooled by others to believe in some illusory things. Ancient One told Qin Hao some strange words on the rooftop. Master Ancient One, have you discovered any problems in the dark dimension? Qin Hao felt that there seemed to be something different about Ancient One this time. What happened to the dark dimension? Ancient One glanced at Qin Hao and hesitated a little. He seemed to be thinking about whether to tell Qin Hao something. At this moment, Qin Hao's phone rang. And the number is Banner's emergency number. This is an automatic trigger device specially made by Banner and Qin Hao after practicing together. As long as Banner's heart rate, arm circumference, and weight monitoring exceed a certain limit, this device will directly dial Qin Hao's phone number. And the device has an orientation. It can make Qin Hao find each other easily. Master Ancient One, my friend seems to need my help. Go, now you have enough strength, as you said before, the world of mortals is the way you have to go. I will always watch you from behind and not let you go astray. Ancient One looked at Qin Hao solemnly and said. Qin Hao nodded upon hearing this. He knew what Ancient One was worried about. Caecilius is the most obvious example. With a wave of his hand, the door of the secret method instantly connected to the air carrier. At the moment Banner has turned into a Green Titan. He is chasing Black Widow, constantly attacking. On the aerospace carrier, those metal walls were torn apart by him like paper paste. Abage, hey big green guy, you're messing around again. Qin Hao stepped through the door of the secret method and shouted towards the Green Titan. Hearing this, the Green Titan turned his head instantly. Little man. That little guy who's been fighting him for a while now. Along with it was a big yellow man. Fight in a special place. If you fight with other people, you will worry about breaking things. Fight them, fear nothing. He looked at Qin Mo with a gratified smile on his face. This guy is here, I'm going to fight him. Roar smash! The Green Titan roared crazily, and rushed towards Qin Hao. This layer of the aerospace carrier was torn apart like paper under his huge size and huge amounts of strength. Qin Mage, be careful! Black Widow's startled voice came. This Eastern Mage, why can't he hide or run away? Small it, but you go in and play with the abomination first, I will deal with things here first. With a wave of Qin Hao's hand, the mirrored dimension is directly placed on the road that the Green Titan must pass through. The Green Titan didn't look cowardly at all. Still running wildly over. Crack! There was a sound like breaking glass. The Green Titan disappeared directly before Black Widow's eyes. The operation in front of him stunned Black Widow. What just happened? This mysterious Oriental mage seemed to wave his hand. Then Hulk, who was wantonly destroying on the aerospace aircraft carrier, directly broke through a mirror-like world. Immediately afterwards, it disappeared directly. Hey, Natasha Romanoff, hope you're okay. Dr. Banner's temper is a little off, but he and I get on pretty well. Qin Hao walked over and stretched out his hand to pull up the dazed Natasha Romanoff. At this time, Natasha Romanoff really looks very charming. I suggest you watch the episode of Avengers Alliance Natasha Romanoff being tied up for interrogation, Task Tisk. Hey, Qin Mage. Natasha Romanoff is no stranger to Qin Hao. She remembered Qin Hao's information clearly. This is a special figure that Commissioner Nick Fury directly positioned him as a level 9 event. You know, the event level of the space magic being robbed and the base being bombed is only level 7. You look a bit miserable here. Qin Hao looked at the level of the torn aerospace aircraft carrier. Yes, Dr. Banner kept chanting a sentence before losing control. What words? He said, I hope Qin Mage isn't in mirror dimensions, or you're going to have to figure out how to control me. He installed a position for himself, a position that can be easily found by you. Well, Dr. Banner made himself an emergency rescue device, and whenever he loses control, he will call me directly. He trusts you that much. Didn't you see it too? I can control him who is mad. At this moment, new information came from Black Widow's headset. Hawkeye Barton ruined one of our engines, he's heading towards the stratum now, can anyone stop him? I'm Natasha Romanoff, and I'm going to stop him. When Natasha Romanoff received the news, she looked at Qin Hao with some expectation. Can we go together and stop Hawkeye Barton? She has read most of the news about Qin Hao. Know his strength. If he can help, the issue of the aerospace carrier may be easily resolved. No, you have to go yourself, I'm going to find Loki, he's the one who's to blame for everything. Qin Hao ignored Natasha Romanoff. After he finished speaking, he directly opened a portal and came to the place where Loki was held. Natasha Romanoff watched the other party leave, and called again on the communication channel. Director Nick Fury, Qin Mage came, and he took Hulk away directly. Hulk was taken, which is great. Everyone was relieved to hear that Hulk had been taken away. They still underestimated Hulk's attack power. If the aerospace carrier really wants to be dismantled by the other party, it will really have to sell scrap iron. Where did Qin Mage go now? He went to find Loki. Natasha Romanoff reported what just happened as she walked. Thor didn't stop Hulk this time, he went straight to where Loki was being held. When Qin Hao passed through the portal, he happened to see Thor being imprisoned by Loki in a special prison. Loki. Thor, this trick has been tried and tested for you, can't you grow up a little? Loki has a smug look on his face. This big brother of mine is a bit out of his mind. Using the same method myself, he can be fooled constantly. Really? It seems that you think you have grown up? I really didn't expect that you would use our Earth as your attack site. Behind Loki came another voice. The sudden sound startled Loki. Qin Mage. Thor immediately saw the Eastern Mage who had helped him with his awakening ability last time. Definitely, the other party let Loki go, which made him feel a little uncomfortable. If God the Father hadn't told him not to go to the other party. Talking about Midgard is not so simple. If I go there rashly, Father God Odin will have to save some face when he asks for someone. Maybe I will go directly to the realm to find trouble with him. This made him even more curious. God King Odin wanted someone himself, but he still had to rely on others to give him face. Is Midgard so mysterious and terrifying? It's you. When he saw Qin Hao appearing behind him, Loki's complacency just now disappeared. He looked at each other angrily. Gritting teeth. Blue veins exposed. That's right, it's me. Qin Hao looked at Hydroxy with a calm face. This guy is the key to the formation of Avengers. As for whether the newly established alliance is united or not, Qin Hao doesn't want to worry about it for the time being. As long as this alliance is formed. After going through 2 big battles, they naturally united. Ha ha ha, I'm here this time, and I'm looking for you. I really didn't expect that you would come directly to your door. I tell you, this time, I will kill you myself. Let you know the price to pay for teasing a god at will. Loki at the moment is getting crazier. Do I have to pay? Very well, I'll wait. Also, stop acting, I don't know what kind of person you are. Your ontology should have already gone to get the scepter. I'm here now, will your body still come? Not only did Qin Hao not care about the other party's threats. Instead, it directly points to what Loki at the moment is doing. Loki's face froze when he heard Qin Hao's words. How could the other party know this? His illusion shouldn't be so easy to discover. Thor couldn't even discover his illusion. Why does this Eastern mage know? Could it be that this mage will also? Or, does he know the weakness of illusion? Thinking of this, Loki's body straightened up. Fortunately, I'll talk about it after I finish my work. When his body was retrieved, the scepter directly chose to leave the aerospace carrier. And his duplication at the moment looks crazy. Even if you know that I am a duplication, so what, my body has already left. His growl attracted another person. Phil Coulson. The agent who was stabbed in the Avengers Alliance. He is holding a special energy gun at the moment. Lucky to hear the news. Boss, Loki says his body has left. 073 The space gate opens. Hulk hates pick UPS. Boss, Loki says his body has left. Phil Coulson immediately reported the intelligence here to Nick Fury. Also, Qin Mage is here too. When he saw Qin Hao, he felt a special sense of reassurance. Last time, it was the other party who subdued the big metal man. This time, he even took away the crazy banner. Coming here now, it seems that this place is also stable. Yep, that's how Phil Coulson feels. Steady. On the other side, Nick Fury, who heard Phil Coulson speak, immediately thought of something. Attention everyone, no planes are allowed to take off. Once a plane takes off, shoot it down. Nick Fury issued the latest order to everyone. But, sir, a plane has already flown away. A most bad news came. If there is a plane taking off, then Loki's body should have left directly on the plane. Hundan, immediately track the position of the plane. Director, tracking failed. Hi, Phil Coulson, long time no see. Chin Hao didn't know Nick Fury's anger at the moment. He greeted Phil Coulson as usual. Chin Mage, can you let me out first? Thor interrupted Chin Hao and Phil Coulson, who were still chatting. Oh, I almost forgot. With a wave of Chin Hao's hand, a secret door appeared, and Thor was released from it. Enough! You mortal! Seeing me being so presumptuous, I want you to pay the price. The small talk between the three directly ignited Loki's anger. Who is he? He is the god of Asgard. He manipulated the infighting that caused everyone here. However, after this mortal came, everything changed. He can perceive that the Green Titan has disappeared. This big guy who could cause a huge disaster to the aerospace carrier disappeared. Sky Fortress probably won't fall by then. And now, he was supposed to exile Thor to the earth. But because of his arrival, Thor was also released. His plans for Loki are now all shattered. Not only that, but the other party at the moment also pretends that he does not exist. Feel free to chat with others here. Pay the price? I'm looking forward to it. What price can you make us pay? You let a phantom stay with us here, can you still treat us like this? If you were that powerful, you wouldn't be beaten so badly by Thor. Chin Hao looked indifferent. Not only that, but it leads the whole thing directly to Thor. Loki, it's too late to turn around now. Thor immediately speaks to Loki. Ha ha ha, turn back? After I rule the earth, we will consider who wants to turn back. After Loki finished speaking, his phantom disappeared immediately. No, Loki! Thor growled angrily. Loki's escape like this means that he will continue to advance. The more casualties caused, the less likely Loki will be forgiven. Chin Mage, do you know where Loki fled? Phil Coulson immediately asked Chin Hao. That's right, Chin Mage, do you know where Loki will go? Iron Man's voice came over the intercom in Phil Coulson's hand. At this time, Tony had just repaired the damaged engine. All of them entered the channel. I can figure it out, but it will take some time. Instead of waiting for me to figure it out, you might as well analyze Loki's character. In this way, it may be possible to directly deduce where he went. Chin Hao did not tell them where Loki was. He knows everything. But he doesn't want to stop now. What happens next is the most interesting. Chitauri's army leads to many things. If he prevents the other party from coming now, at that time, many things will change later. There is no crisis. How can Nick Fury be called back to Carol at that time? All Chin Hao's plans now are to get Nick Fury to call Carol back. Touch her. Loki's character. A group of people directly fell into a quarrel for this. He was arrogant. He just loves to play tricks. He wants a stage to express himself. He needs the eyes of the world to come together. You also need a place with strong energy to activate Tesseract. Fac. After a constant quarrel, Tony finally thought of a place. His Stark building. Chin Hao also has to admire, Tony's mind is really amazing. He just gave a hint, and he thought of where Loki was going. Chin Mage, a portal Stark building. Tony exclaimed. Chin Hao grinned, and a secret door appeared between his hands. Destination, go straight to Stark's mansion. A group of people stepped through the portal, but saw a scene that shocked them. Dr. Eric, Tesseract has been launched. That huge energy went straight to the sky. At the end of the energy, a huge portal gradually formed in the sky. Everyone looked up, and there seemed to be a huge army behind the space door. At this moment, Loki's plane arrived at the Stark building. This time, with Chin Hao present, Lug finally fell behind the crowd. However, Loki at the moment still had an excited smile on his face. I didn't expect you to come so fast. It's just that you are still late. The gate of space has been opened, and next, you will face the terrifying Chitauri army. Now, I'm really so excited. Really want to see it when you get killed by the Chitauri army. Following Loki's words, in the space channel in the sky, a single soldier flight device with a Chitauri is constantly flying outward. Densely packed. Like locusts. Not only that, but there is also a huge Leviathan floating mothership in the middle. That huge body is just like an aerospace aircraft carrier. In the cabin of the mothership, countless Zeta Swiss soldiers are waiting to land. Not good, close that space channel quickly. Otherwise, their troops will arrive constantly. This time, because the portal was opened directly, Nick Fury also came to the Stark building. Not only him, but many people came from the aerospace aircraft carrier this time. Phil Coulson, Hill Agent, Passerby Agent A, B, C, D. As a leader, Nick Fury knows exactly what to do now. After I change the mecha, I will turn off that device. Tony at the moment had just finished taking off his battered Mark 6 armor. He stood by the bar, wearing the latest armor control sensor bracelet. Thor, can you temporarily block a space passage? Nick Fury continues to arrange on-site personnel. I do my best. Thor wields Mjolnir in his hand. Dark clouds gather between heaven and earth, and a bolt of lightning constantly gathers in the sky. Boom! The huge lightning went straight to the space channel. Countless individual flight guns and Zeta Swiss soldiers fell in this round of lightning attacks. DJA. When his lightning stopped, more soldiers flew out of it immediately after. Not only that, huge giant Leviathan floating motherships appeared from the passage one after another. This time, the opponent obviously didn't engage in the second-hand operation of send one out first and smash it for you. 0. Seeking flowers. No, we still have to close that space channel first, otherwise it's impossible to eliminate this constant stream of enemies. Tony, are you ready? Nick Fury at the moment is already anxious. This incident, unexpectedly turned into an alien invasion incident. Although he has long been prepared for aliens to invade at any time. But when this day really came, he was still a little shocked. All right. Tony put on the mech and came directly to Dr. Eric's side. Dr. Eric, although I admire you very much, I have offended you now. The energy cannon in Tony's hand glowed brightly. Woo! Boom! The energy cannon accurately hit the Tesseract's energy shield. But the energy shield was not damaged at all. That huge energy wave directly sent Dr. Eric flying. Director Nick Fury, the Tesseract's energy shield is too powerful to close. Tony gave a bad answer. Then implement Plan B and take down Loki. Nick Fury's face was livid. Plan B is obviously the most helpless. Take me down? I have an army. Why do you take me down? 0, 0. After Loki finished speaking, the plane he was on started to take off as slowly. He's going to join the Chitauri army. He wants to see what this group of mortals can do to take him down. Loki, I don't know, why do you think things are going the way you imagined? Chitauri soldier, can you really control it? Relying on them to take down the earth, do you think you really occupied the earth? If they withdraw, why do you rule the earth? Do you think you are a god, doing whatever you want? Seeing that Loki was about to leave, Qin Hao immediately spoke. He's going to hold Loki. This battle has to be fought slowly. Dr. Eric did a great job. If he hadn't opened this space channel, and took Loki down in 2s and 3s, this Avengers would have existed in name only. Now that the channel is opened, all that remains is to continue to sublimate the friendship in the battle. This matter, I leave it to myself to do it. If there is no chance, I will create opportunities for them to put up and fight. The Chitauri army is retreating? Ha ha ha, they dare not retreat. Their goal is the earth, and they dare not go against the will of that person. It is impossible for you mortals to know the horror of that person. When Loki heard Qin Hao's words, his face instantly went crazy. He mocked everyone for their ignorance. He looked at Qin Hao. This mortal is really annoying. His words are heart-wrenching. But this time someone will come to the other side to pay him. The horror of that person? Loki, you're interesting. You are disobedient in the face of Odin, who has raised you for more than 1,000 years. Instead, he obeyed a stranger he had just met. Sure enough, you Protoss are actually a bitch. Qin Hao's mouth is extremely poisonous. This directly stung Loki's heart. Loki, who was about to leave, at the moment turned around. Bastard! Chitauri army, kill them! An enraged Loki directs the Chitauri army straight to the Stark building. The huge number of flight soldiers, and the huge amounts of Leviathan floating mothership. Head straight for the Stark building. Just looking at this huge army puts tremendous pressure on everyone. Qin Mage, you are constantly provoking him like this, do you have a way to deal with him? Tony complained about Qin Hao in the channel. You are adding fuel to the flames. Your mouth is more poisonous than yourself. Definitely. Hulk, Abomination, get ready for your guests. 074 Powerful Mirror Space. Trapped Chitauri army. Definitely. Hulk, Abomination, get ready for guests. Qin Hao saw the countless army attacking. Instead, there was an inexplicable smile on his face. Mirror dimension, fully open. Crack! 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 The people standing on the Stark building saw a scene that shocked them. The space around him became like shattered glass. It constantly spreads outward and swells. In this sprawl, all of them, the Chitauri army attacking from afar, Loki and his plane, the buildings of New York. Countless things were directly swallowed by that broken space. They stood on Stark's mansion, and their feelings were not very deep. Those airplanes, individual flight weapons, and Leviathan floating motherships that are flying in the sky seem to be suddenly pulled by a huge force. At the very beginning, they entered the mirror dimension and fell directly. Because Qin Hao changed the gravitational rule of the sky. Roar Hulk! Smash! Hulk, stop! Qin Mage is pulling people in. As soon as Tony and the others entered this space, they heard 540 and Hulk's angry roar. They looked up and saw another giant yellow figure. Hulk! Hate! Two huge figures are constantly rolling and fighting in this space. Those buildings have been smashed to pieces by two titans. Shattered. Small man. The word came out of Hulk's mouth. This is the tacit understanding between the three of them after fighting countless times. Immediately afterwards, he saw more and more things being pulled into the mirror dimension. Hulk! Smash! Hulk's berserk voice echoed through the mirror dimension. Hulk! Those flying things in the sky, smash them as much as you like. Damn, don't you feel bored? Those big guys in the sky, smash them casually. Hearing Qin Hao's voice, Hulk and the two hateful titans looked at each other and smiled. Smash! Two behemoths are running wildly directly in the mirrored New York buildings. Ha ha ha, I'm bored, so you guys are here to fight. Hulk's roar, the madness of hatred, at the moment are vividly displayed. When the Zeta Swiss soldiers encountered these two monsters, they had no power to fight back. A group of people who came in were originally ministers of old regret. As a result, I saw even more shocking things now. Oh, you by karma, I told you, I like the way Banner is angry. There was joy in Tony's voice. The terror of the Hulk had been shocking. At the moment also has an equally berserk abomination. It's just a show. Qin Mage, you always surprise us, but we have to take care of civilian casualties. Nick Fury at the moment is still worried about civilians. The raging of two titans and the flying Zeta Swiss soldiers have caused endless damage to the buildings of New York City. Under such injuries, I don't know how many people will die. That's right, we should save people first. Captain America also had a serious expression on his face. In his view, saving people is still the most important thing. Qin Hao looked calm. This is the magic mirror dimension of our mage family. In this dimension, no matter how you destroy it, the real world will not be harmed. We are overwhelmed inside, and we will not feel it outside. So, fight as much as you want until you eliminate your opponent. Real or fake? This is too amazing. It's unbelievable. The faces of the Avengers were full of disbelief. But Nick Fury at the moment really felt the terror of Qin Hao. Mirror dimension, are you parallel universe, quantum space, dimensional dimension, space crack, or something else? Tony is indeed a genius, he immediately asked the same question as Banner. This is the magic dimension. I see, it is precisely because of your mage family's terrifying power that we have not discovered a large-scale attack. Because as long as there is a large-scale attack, you all solve it in this space. Nick Fury instantly understood a lot of things that he couldn't understand before. Qin Hao said that their mage group is guarding the world. But there is almost no record of what they guarded. With this mirror dimension, then everything makes sense. That's right, that's it. In addition, everyone, you are welcome, it's time to fight. Director Nick Fury, you just stand here and watch the conductor. Where others want to go, remember to tell me, and I will arrange for you to go there. Tony, if your armor runs out of power, call me or Thor. Captain, you've slept for so long, you don't know if your bones are still strong. Barton, this position is very high, do you need to change seats? Phil Coulson, that guy in your hand, should get his act together. Hill Agent, Natasha Romanoff, you two have small arms and legs, you should follow the director's arrangement. Thor, if you want to play Thunder, play it. Oh, almost forgot, the destroyer wasn't even released. Qin Hao released the destroyer on his own. These little monsters will be scum in the face of the destroyer. Qin Mage, can you still charge? Tony kept flying in the sky, and finally heard Qin Hao's words. Let's go. A group of warriors take the initiative to attack at the moment. Next, let the Chithorai's army face the blast. For the first time, Qin Hao exuded an invincible aura. In the sky, dark clouds gathered again. The whole of New York was shrouded in dark clouds. There is only space left in the sky, where there are no dark clouds. Weather control. Haha, I knew last time that you can control thunder and lightning, and it's true, this kind of power of the thunder and lightning, cool. Thor felt the majesty of heaven and earth on the tallest building. This kind of power that doesn't require him to gather lightning and release it directly is really cool. Boom! 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 Thunder is constantly shining in the entire space. From that space gate in the sky, endless Zeta Swiss soldiers come out. But as soon as they come out, some of them will be wiped out by this tyrannical thunder. Solo flight cannot cross this grid at all. The Leviathan floating mothership can easily break through the power grid. But as soon as they lowered their altitude, they were beaten by the Hulk and the Abomination. The violent high-temperature rays of the destroyer are also a sharp weapon for destroying the Leviathan floating mothership. With the cooperation of these three guys, the Leviathan floating mothership in the sky kept falling like a meteorite. Those soldiers who landed, at the moment, they have to accept constant attacks from the Captain, Hawkeye, Tony, and others. Everyone fought crazily without any worries. Natasha Romanoff, you go over there immediately and see if you can shut down Tesseract. If you can't shut down Tesseract, it's going to be a tough fight. Nick Fury immediately made new arrangements. Everyone here is fighting in an orderly manner, and Loki at the moment over there is going crazy. How did this happen? How did this happen? Why did you enter a space like this? He thought that he had paid enough attention to the mysterious Eastern mage. But in the end, he still underestimated the other party. Chitauri has a huge army. But the situation they face at the moment is also extremely severe. In this space, there is a powerful force of thunder. It was so easy for Thor to control thunder. All the Zeta Swiss soldiers who came out of the space passage were seriously injured. Individual flight soldiers are rarely able to penetrate that grid. The giant Leviathan floating mothership can pass through. However, the soldiers left behind became the army. With the Chitauri's flexible flight maneuver force reduced, air suppression becomes almost ineffective. Tony's suit flies through the air, holding down nearly all Chitauri flight soldiers. Even the constantly shining thunder in the sky would hit those 4.1 flight soldiers from time to time. Chitauri's flight soldiers are really lost. And Loki has been worried about the Green Titan, the peak of individual combat power. It's 2 out of 1. 1 green, 1 yellow. The 2 Titans climbed between buildings before jumping onto Flight's Leviathan floating carrier. Immediately afterwards, it was a mess. No Leviathan floating mothership can withstand the attack of 2 Titans. They also crash constantly. Loki at the moment is full of disbelief. He came here to take over the whole Earth. He came here to be king here. However, the so-called invincible Chitauri army was directly faced with such an unexpected situation. They descended, except for the very beginning, almost no one was hurt behind. Loki was dumbfounded. The commander of the Zeta Swiss soldiers was even more confused. Loki! Where have you taken us? There is no one here but buildings. You have betrayed us. 075 Scary Chin How. Loki knocked unconscious again. Loki! Where have you taken us? There is no one here but buildings. You have betrayed us. The commander of the Chitauri army watched as his soldiers died. He was extremely shocked and angry. He has his own judgment. Loki betrayed. That's why the space door is opened in such a place. Their soldiers are coming out, and now they are sending them to their deaths. No, I didn't. That mage did it. Loki immediately denies it. All of this was done by the magic mage. Mage, you tell me that a mage of Earthlings can pull us all into such a space? In a huge space that can envelop a city? The Chitauri commander demanded angrily. They followed that person to attack countless worlds. Have seen countless civilizations. However, all the worlds they invaded have been investigated in advance. If there is such a powerful mage, they will not attack at all. Because once such a person is angered, unless the other party is killed. Otherwise, you will have to face endless harassment and attacks. They don't believe in such a powerful force on such a small planet as the Earth. Mage did it. He's in that building. Loki! You lost dog, you say it's Mage, then you go and kill him immediately. The Chitauri's commander continued to rant wildly. Loki's eyes change. This Chitauri's commander actually dared to call him a stray dog in 08. He remembered this hatred. Bombard me there. He manipulated the flight crew to turn the nose of the plane, and the shells were directed at the Stark building. Biu-biu. The several artillery shells in the fighter plane poured in as if they didn't need money. Not only that, the bullets on the fighter plane are like raindrops, shining red light and attacking the Stark building. Chin Mage, it's not good, shells are coming. Director, leave the Stark building quickly. Hill agent at the moment was extremely nervous. Faced with shells and bullets, human beings are mortal bodies after all. If they were to be hit by a shell, they would be finished. I saw the cannonball with a long tail flame coming towards the Stark building. Everyone who is fighting has their eyes drawn. The situation here will determine the next battle. Chin Mage, can you deal with it? For example, open a door to pass them away. Nick Fury asked in a calm voice. Chin Mo grinned, just blow them up. Before the words were finished, 5 flying swords made by adamantium appeared out of nowhere and went straight to the shells in the distance. Boom! 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 The flying sword accurately hit the shell. The shell exploded directly hundreds of meters away from the Steck building. And those bullets, with even more astonishing speeds, at the moment, quietly floated tens of meters before everyone's eyes. Like an invisible barrier, capturing all those bullets. "Oh, Chain Mage, I saw your mysterious flying sword again." Tony, who was flying in the sky, roared excitedly. This flying sword directly cut all the armor of Hanmer Industries into pieces. This time, these shells are no exception. Those floating bullets let Tony know that ordinary bullets have no effect on Qin Hao. Seeing such a scene, Tony was excited and grateful at the same time. Fortunately, his armor is now equipped with an anti-magnetic system. After that, at least your own armor will not be controlled by the opponent. But when other people saw this situation, they felt a sigh of relief in their hearts. This mysterious Oriental mage, what else can't? After the 5 flying swords came out, they never disappeared again. They shuttle continuously in the air and floors like lightning. Those Zeta Swiss soldiers were easily pierced by flying swords. All the soldiers who were close to the Stark building, at the moment, were cleared up by Qin Hao alone. "Hill Agent, don't worry, you're safe here." Qin Hao at the moment was still in the mood to joke with Hill. "Chain Mage, was your previous battle also like this? So chic and casual?" Hill was full of curiosity. Her question seemed random, but in fact it was inducing Qin Hao to reveal more information. As agents, they always think about SHIELD. "No, the battle in the material world is relatively simple if it does not exceed a certain intensity. Unless you encounter that kind of unreasonable large-scale shell washing. In such a situation, we also have to avoid its edge. General combat is not difficult to deal with. But what we guard is the magical world on the mysterious side. The enemies encountered there are the same as ours. They can do magic too, even more so than we do. That kind of battle is not so simple." Qin Hao is bragging here without shame. Where has he experienced battles in the wizarding world? It's just nonsense. Director Nick Fury, Dr. Eric said that the scepter in Loki's hand may be able to shut down Tesseract. At this time, the voice of Natasha Romanoff sounded in the channel. "Loki's scepter?" "Yes," Dr. Eric said, "the Tesseract can defend against all attacks, but it has no way to defend against its own power. And the logical scepter has the same power as cosmic magic." Dr. Eric left the key to this door even while under control. Natasha Romanoff briefly explained what Eric said. Hearing this, a group of people who were fighting turned their attention to Loki. "It just so happened that he pissed me off, so I went to trouble him." Tony's armor changed direction in the air, go straight to the plane that Loki at the moment is on. Biu. Loki is not a defenseless man. The scepter in his hand emits energy one after another. Forcing Tony didn't dare to get too close. "Plane, take off, enter the Chitauri's camp." Loki growled. He saw that the crowd seemed to be gathering towards him. He also understands the principle of capturing the thief first. At the moment not to go, when to wait. If you don't leave, it will be really troublesome if you get caught. In any case, it's best to return to the Chitauri's army first. As for Commander Chitauri's distrust, I don't care. This time, it's not him who decides. As long as I go back, someone will naturally come out to take over the battle. Loki. Why don't you turn back? Thor looked at Loki, who was about to flee, and growled anxiously. Why is this little brother so stubborn? Turn back, ha ha ha, can you turn back now? Besides, you still don't know what you will face next. The boy growled wildly as Loki left. Since you don't look back, then don't even think about leaving. Thor is also a wolf this time. The thunder in the sky kept gathering. Zi. Boom. A massive thunderbolt hits Loki's plane directly. The entire plane was attacked by this powerful thunder, and lost power directly in the air. The plane spun and smashed into the mobile building. No. You can't do that. Loki's disappointed and terrified voice echoed through the crashed plane. Not that he would die in the crash. But he couldn't leave here, and the next thing he had to face was the fate of 900 being captured. The proud prince of Asgard will not be held captive. Roar Hulk! Smash! Just then, Loki seemed to hear an angry growl in his ear. Boom! Hulk's massive body fell directly from a building onto the plane. The descent rate of the crashing plane became more terrifying. Boom! Crack! The already broken plane was dismantled by Hulk. Hulk probes, grabs Loki. He held up Loki for a look, then growled. Smash! Boom! Loki was thrown straight from the plane by the Hulk. Boom! Huge power brings super fast speed. Loki's whole body was like a cannonball, directly smashing into a building. It even crashed through the entire building. A weak moan escaped Loki's mouth. After being hit so hard, he lay on the ground unable to get up. Tony, go retrieve Loki's scepter, we're going to shut down the Tesseract. Nick Fury's voice sounded in the channel. Receive. Tony's armor gradually descended from the sky. He's going to take Loki's scepter. Qin Hao, who was standing in the Stark building, was disappointed. Is that how Loki got caught? Is Tesseract going to be shut down like this? In this battle, everyone didn't seem to feel much pressure. In such a situation, how can the Avengers Alliance become closer? Are you doing too much yourself? How about waterproofing yourself? Qin Hao was still thinking about things in his heart. There was a ray of light falling from the sky in the space channel. The owner has always wanted to come here too early, and it really makes sense. 076 Powerful Ebony Maw. Black Dwarf. The master has always said not to come here too early, and it really makes sense. A comatose Loki at the moment is unresponsive. But Qin Hao smiled when he heard this voice. So that's it. So that's why Loki dared to come to Earth again. Qin Hao saw the figure coming from the beam of light from a distance. Ebony Maw. Black Dwarf. Hey, are you Loki's party? Now we announce that you are under arrest. Tony was going to pick up Loki's scepter. But when he saw the two of them, he suddenly felt something was wrong. He is suspended in the air, glowing from a medium energy cannon. Noisy. Ebony Maw waved gracefully at Tony. The black dwarf beside him suddenly threw out the mechanical pickaxe in his hand. The mechanical pickaxe extends directly. Tony was unprepared, and was smashed through the entire building by Black Dwarf's pickaxe and axe. This blow caused a 60% loss of mecha armor. Please stay away from the opponent. In the armor, the voice of J.A.R.V.I.S sounded. This blow directly knocked out 60% of Tony's armor value. You must know that his armor value did not lose 30% during the continuous fighting in the previous period. And this blow caused double the damage of the original battle. Okay, Director Nick Fury, the new guy is too fierce. My armor was directly knocked out by 60%, I have to withdraw. Tony, get out of here. He knows his mecha. He can knock down 60% of his mech armor with one blow, and if he doesn't leave, he will be taken away directly. Moreover, he knew in his heart that this was Qin Hao's home field. Even if he evacuated, there was still Qin Hao who could make a move. I get it, Tony, back off. Nick Fury at the moment also felt that the two newcomers were not easy to mess with. A person looks so graceful that he can float in the air at will. And the other one is almost as tall as a green titan. He holds a pickaxe with huge amounts of it in his hand. Such a person, not to mention their strength, but just their looks. Hulk! Smash that big guy! Qin Hao commands the Hulk from the Stark building. Hulk! Smash! Roar! Hulk, who had just shredded Loki's plane, rushed over frantically at the moment. The mechanical pickaxe in Black Dwarf's hand hit the ground violently. A large hole was directly smashed into the ground. He looked at the Green Titan that was rushing towards him, and swung his axe again. Boom! The unprepared Green Titan was severely hit by this blow. Kong dang! Boom! The Green Titan's huge body directly smashed into the nearby building. Black Dwarf looked proud, and casually lifted the mechanical pickaxe in his hand. Hulk gradually broke free from the building. An inexplicable smile appeared on his face. This guy. 13. Hey! Immediately afterwards, with a roar, he rushed towards Black Dwarf again frantically. Black Dwarf is about to do it again. But this time the Hulk was prepared. He grabbed the axe of the attacking mechanical pickaxe with one palm. Immediately afterwards, with a force, he directly pulled Black Dwarf over. The stumbling Black Dwarf felt the Hulk's wrath. Boom! A violent punch landed on Black Dwarf's body. Black Dwarf's huge body collapsed directly. Hulk! Smash! Hulk paid no attention to the little man floating beside him. Continue to run towards Black Dwarf. Two behemoths kept rolling in the building. Building after building was demolished by the two. Sure enough, there are still some powerful characters in this world. Ebony Maw glanced at the Green Titan, then raised his hand. The scepter on the ground floated up and landed in his hand. Put down the scepter. On the tallest building, Thor thundered until Ebony Maw came. Just when the thunder had just risen, a steel plate on the ground suddenly rose up, facing the way of the thunder's attack. Boom! The steel plate was smashed to pieces. But Ebony Maw wasn't hurt in the slightest. Thor's attack failed. Seeing the scene here, the shield in the hands of Captain America Rogers slashed towards Ebony Maw. Ebony Maw still just waved. Boom! The flying shield hit Rogers even faster. Vomit! Rogers, who was holding onto the shield tightly with both hands, was pushed by the shield and slid on the ground for a long time. An uncomfortable groan came out of his mouth. It seemed that this blow almost suffocated him. Barton in the distance took this opportunity to shoot an arrow at Ebony Maw. But the arrow was still some distance away from Ebony Maw and turned directly. A bomb on shears shatters a room. The abomination smashed a Leviathan floating mothership in the sky, and then he himself followed the crashed mothership and jumped towards Ebony Maw. But Ebony Maw waved casually again. A series of metals on the Leviathan floating mothership were directly torn apart. The ripped metal is like a baseball bat hitting a baseball. Smashed the abomination into the adjacent building. Not only that, those metals were under the control of Ebony Maw, directly binding the abomination firmly. Soldiers of the Chitauri, we have come to assist the Asgardians in their master's quest. But I really didn't expect this Asgardian to fail so easily. All of you let go of the mage here and leave it to me to deal with. Ebony Maw took over command of the Zeta Swiss soldier directly. All the Zeta Swiss soldiers at the moment fought with all hands and feet. But this time, their main target is no longer the Stark building. Instead, destroy all enemies around you. Enemies on the Stark building, leave it to Lord Ebony Maw. These Zeta Swiss soldiers changed their targets, and the pressure on the crowd increased sharply. All the S.H.I.E.L.D. agents and Avengers members were stunned by what they saw. Nick Fury looked at Chin Hao with shocking eyes. Is this the monster you faced before? Not only he was shocked, everyone was shocked at the moment. They bullied the Chitauri soldiers with ease. At least it is easy without considering casualties. Originally thought that Loki could be easily taken down, and then get the scepter to end the battle. Unexpectedly, Loki has reinforcements. Although there are only 2 reinforcements, their strength is astonishing. One capable of fighting an angry Green Titan. The other is more of an elegant aristocrat. Destroy all attacks with a wave of hands. This appearance seems to have the same effect as Chin Hao. That's right, that's probably what it looks like. Chin Hao was secretly delighted at the moment. Ebony Maw is really awesome. The aura after this appearance was even more astonishing. The strength of the shot is also shocking. Kind of freewheeling. That kind of grace in every gesture. It really fits the temperament of a master. At the moment, everyone was almost afraid to approach each other. This directly improved the force of their magic lineage by more than a little bit or two. Now everyone looked at Qin Hao as if they were looking at a monster. Really? There are so many things in this world that they don't know. What should I do now? The other party got the scepter. Natasha Romanoff's anxious voice interrupted the shock. She has been waiting for the scepter to solve the space cube. Obviously, he was about to get the space Rubik's Cube, but two powerful aliens were killed halfway. Even one of them almost suppressed everyone here. It has to be said that the alliance has just been established, and there are still too few battles involved. So in the face of such an unexpected situation, I was a little overwhelmed. If they waited until a few years later, everyone would definitely not be so hesitant. Not to mention an ebony maw, even an army of Thanos, they dare to rush up and fight. It doesn't matter, didn't he say that he wants to attack in person? Then wait for him to come. Qin Hao didn't care at all. He just waited for the opponent to attack. Fighting a legitimate mage like Ebony Maw is fun. Ebony Maw was floating and gradually leveled with Qin Hao's group. He glanced at Nick Fury and Hill, and then focused his gaze on Qin Hao. You are the supreme mage of this generation? The master has always said that the earth should not rush to attack. It is guarded by the lineage of the supreme mage, and it is easy to start the war easily. The Protoss of Asgard want to attack the earth. This is a good thing, we take this opportunity to find out. I really didn't expect that supreme mage is really so powerful. Our army, of Jianzhou, will definitely return without success. Ebony Maw speaks with grace. He didn't even mind telling the crowd about their goals. Because of what they did, they have offended many races. One more human race is not too much. Qin Hao probably guessed what was going on. When Loki left Asgard, he met Thanos' army. Then Thanos gave the scepter. It's just that Loki from at the moment doesn't know that there is a mind gem in the scepter. Get Chuangaji and get Chitorai's army. So began a plan to invade the earth. But he should have also reflected the mage on earth to Thanos. And Thanos knew about this, but he was unwilling to keep attacking. So let Loki attack, and arrange Ebony Maw and Black Dwarf to respond to the Hall at the same time. It is more appropriate to say it is a response, or to test the response of the earth. No, my master is the supreme mage. Your master is the supreme mage. Hearing this, Ebony Maw became serious again. The person in front of him is already in trouble. If he has a more powerful master, then the plan to attack the earth seems to be really changing. Unless it is not to implement the half-extinction plan, but directly destroy the earth with naval guns. Ebony Maw, please give me the scepter, I can let you evacuate. 077 The battle between Qin Hao and Ebony Maw. Elegant and terrifying. Ebony Maw, please give me the scepter, I can let you evacuate. Qin Hao made his request to Ebony Maw. Hand over the scepter. Really? It's not impossible, but I want to test the strength of the supreme mage lineage. For a long time, I have never failed the tasks assigned to me by the master. Yoren will be very upset if you don't get the desired result this time. If you can beat me, this scepter will naturally be able to get it. Ebony Maw gracefully rejected Qin Hao's request. Well, if you don't fight with you, you will never give up. However, since you want to fight, then I will clean up these minions. After Qin Hao finished speaking, the stone foot stepped on the ground suddenly. Immediately afterwards, another shocking scene happened. All objects in the entire mirror space are constantly flipped. The Rogers people who were fighting, at the moment obviously didn't move, but they were constantly moving. In a blink of an eye, they were directly moved to the Stark building by Qin Hao. You go and stay aside first, the battle here is handed over to me. At this high place, everyone's hearts became more and more shocked. Those buildings are like terrifying behemoths. All Zeta Swiss soldiers attached to it are hanged by the building. There were several Zeta Swiss soldiers chasing Rogers and Barton just now, and they fell directly into an overturned building. The Green Titan and Black Dwarf, at the moment, who were tearing apart, were also separated in the constantly tumbling space. "Hey! Little man!" The Green Titan was obviously very dissatisfied with Qin Hao's actions. But he only roared once, and then stopped fighting. He knew that Qin 440 Hao was doing such an action, so he had to be serious. Serious Qin Mo will not allow him to accumulate enough energy. Without enough anger, it is impossible for Hulk to defeat Qin Hao. This is the conclusion he has come to after fighting for a while. The metal-bound abomination at the moment also just broke free. He has his own wisdom, and when he sees the current situation, he has an excited expression on his face. "Mage, are you serious? Good, good, I want to see you take a serious fight with someone." And the destroyer, at the moment, stood by Qin Hao's side. Its terrifying high-temperature rays, at the moment, are constantly shooting towards the sky. Those flying Leviathan floating motherships and Chitauri individual flight weapons cannot be approached under its attack. The battle here cannot be stopped by anyone. Water fake. Is this okay in here? Tony's armor landed on the Stark building. Everything in front of him far exceeded his imagination. He is a genius, but not all-rounder. The power of this magic once again broke his cognition. Although seeing them pulled into this space just now has already broken their cognition once. Can the whole space still move? Is there anything else you can't do? The mysterious Eastern mage is too powerful. Thor, at the moment, who was working on the highest builder, also had to leave there. After Qin Hao's reversal, the whole space was already in chaos. Thor's position is no longer the highest. Because Qin Hao and Ebony Maw are going to fight, there are not even Zeta Swiss soldiers appearing in the space rift. Everywhere is constantly flipping. Only Black Widow Qin Hao did not move. That corresponds to where Tesseract is located outside. At that time, after he gets the scepter, he can directly open a door for people to teleport out of the real world. Then stab the Tesseract. Ebony Maw, although you are very powerful, you will definitely not be my opponent here. The two magic shields in Qin Hao's hands took shape instantly. This is still the effect of the qualitative change of his magic power. 1-0. Concrete magic weapon. The expression on Ebony Maw's face became more serious. He is very clear about what this large-scale adjustment of the terrifying space represents. The opponent said that he could not beat the opponent here, which is very likely to be true. And the only thing he can win is his casting speed. There is only one fight. Sure enough, the power of the lineage of Supreme Mage is really amazing. Fortunately, I came to see it with my own eyes this time. As he waved his hand, tentacles continued to protrude from the buildings around him. They swept towards Qin Hao directly. Ebony Maw's psychokinesis is capable of manipulating and altering almost any physical object. Humph, such tricks are useless. After Qin Hao finished speaking, the magic shield in his hand instantly turned into countless yellow whips. These whips tangled directly with the physical tentacles controlled by Ebony Maw. They are constantly tearing, entangled, and broken. This was still done by Qin Hao using concrete magic weapons. Seeing this, Ebony Maw spread his hands flat. Behind him, countless bricks and rocks flew, and immediately after, these bricks and rocks turned into sharp spikes. The spikes attacked Qin Hao at a speed exceeding the speed of sound. Seeing this, Qin Hao stomped his feet lightly, and a magic wall appeared directly in front of him. Puff! Puff! Puff puff! The spikes hit the magic wall. A pile of powder drifted away. Qin Hao's consciousness moved, and thunder and lightning flashed in the dense dark clouds in the sky. Boom! A thick bolt of lightning went straight to Ebony Maw. The opponent repeated the same trick, and a steel plate on the ground blocked the way of Thunder's attack. Blocking Qin Hao's attack, Ebony Maw waved his hand. The position where Qin Hao was standing turned into powder. Qin Hao, who had nothing under his feet, fell instantly. But then, Qin Hao's figure suddenly floated into the air. Magnetic control. Qin Hao used the magnetic field to float directly in the air. Qin Hao, who was, attacked, was not polite. With the hand flying, the whole space where Ebony Maw is located is chaotic and upside down. Ebony Maw is almost unaffected with psychokinesis flight, at the moment. But Black Dwarf didn't have the ability of flight, so he was thrown to pieces in this upside down. Ebony Maw waved his hand to the nearby building. The entire building wall over there peeled off directly. Immediately afterwards, that wall flew towards Qin Hao and attacked. Qin Hao's consciousness moved, and the 5 long swords behind him were like lightning, and went straight to the wall. PSST. 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 The entire wall was cut to pieces by the flying sword. Not only that, the flying sword went straight to Ebony Maw. Ebony Maw's body fluttered, and countless metals around him rose in response. Crack! Crack! Those metals were easily shredded by the long sword made by adamantium. Is it so sharp? He muttered to himself. But then, Black Dwarf's weapon was moved by him. PSST. 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 5 flying swords are inserted directly into the Black Dwarf's weapon. The weapon strength of Black Dwarf is not much worse than that of adamantium. Fijian was restrained. Qin Ji directly gave up the control of Fijian. He raised his hands forward, and a blast of cold air directed towards Ebony Maw. The scepter in Ebony Maw's hand shone brightly. Boom! The 2 energies stalemate in the air. But immediately after, Ebony Maw discovered a scene that surprised him. That chill directly froze the space. And it keeps spreading. The energy emitted by the scepter can't stop the spread of Fang Han Qi at all. Ebony Maw rolled back and backed away from Qin Hao. But Qin Hao didn't give in at all, he was like brown sugar. Wherever he went, everything was frozen into ice. Between the 2 chasing and fleeing, more and more space was frozen. Not only that, the sky even began to snowflakes. The temperature in the entire space is dropping rapidly. The Chitauri horde that came in was starting to be covered in frost. The flexible Leviathan floating mothership was gradually stiffened by the freezing. Ebony Maw. Put down the scepter and I can make you go. Qin Hao's voice sounded again. Ebony Maw thought for a while, then threw out the scepter. You win, let go of the space, we're leaving. Qin Hao took over the scepter and stopped the chase. He waved his hand again, and the world that was constantly turning over gradually recovered. The remaining Zeta Swiss soldiers began to leave this world on the mothership. This time, they came back almost without success. Qin Hao didn't stop him at all, just watched quietly. The others looked at the retreating Zeta Swiss soldiers, not to mention the slightest intention of chasing them. Until at the moment, they were still immersed in the rapid and crazy battle just now. The battle between mage, so scary? At the moment, their bodies felt chills. That's because the temperature of the entire space has indeed dropped too much. Small man! Roar! Hulk growled excitedly. Mage, your battles are amazing. Hate was also shaking his head sideways. Such a scene, he and Hulk are rare. Because when Qin Hao fought with them, he was fighting more physically. But this time, Qin Hao directly exploded countless magic abilities. This kind of battle is really exciting. This is the battle of your mage clan. Tony at the moment was deeply hurt. He thought that Qin Hao could only open portals and metal controls. He can't do anything about the portal, and the anti-magnetic force can still be studied. But now he realizes that he knows too little about Qin Hao. The power to control the weather, the power of thunder. This terrifying low-temperature cold air almost froze the whole world. The inexplicable things that appear at any time. The terrifying power that keeps turning. What did he use to target Qin Hao? Qin Hao flew back to the Stark building. Take it, wait for them to leave, and close the space door. He handed the scepter to Hill. Immediately afterwards, a portal to cosmic magic was opened. 078 Binding Loki's illusion. System prompt. People in New York City saw a scene that baffled them. Above the Stark building, a blue energy column soared into the sky. That energy column even opened a crack in the sky. In the cracks, some strange flight objects began to appear. There's even a sprawling giant flight creature. These flights began to cause some havoc in New York City. Many buildings and people were injured. But it didn't take long, except for the first batch of strange things that came out and caused havoc. Something else seemed to simply disappear. What they can see when they look up is that things are constantly flying out of that space passage. But as soon as those things came out, they disappeared immediately. It seems that there is a huge mouth below the space channel, and everything is eaten in. Those things that came up ahead took a toll on New York City. At least in their cognition, they suffered a lot of casualties. However, they didn't know that the greater casualties were eliminated by a group of people. I don't know how long it took, but the blue beam of light on the Stark building finally disappeared. Immediately after disappearing, there was that huge amounts of crack in the sky. The space channel in the sky disappeared, and Qin Hao sent everyone out of the mirror dimension. Includes Green Titan and Abomination. A group of more than 10 people, at the moment are all on the Stark building. I have arranged for S.H.I.E.L.D to receive everything here. Tesseract, Embankment, and Scepter are to be well preserved. The first thing Nick Fury did after he came out was to arrange for S.H.I.E.L.D to receive Tesseract and Loki's scepter. He said this and kept looking at Qin Hao. He was worried that Qin Hao would stop him. Are you sure you can save these two things? Qin Hao walked up to Tesseract and stroked it lightly. Ding! Tesseract is detected. Special reminder, Tesseract contains space gem inside, which has powerful power and can be used, but binding is not recommended. The system directly gave an answer that shocked Qin Hao. Can be used, but binding is not recommended. Immediately afterwards, he thought of something. The system is still thinking about him. Once he binds the gem, it's good that he can use it. If you can't take advantage of it, you'll make yourself a target for some guys who really like infinite gems. Like Thanos. If your strength is invincible, you won't say it. Whoever wants to fight infinite gems with that kind of strength, just crush the opponent to death by himself. But he is not invincible yet. So getting infinite gems will be like vision. In order to get the gems, the opponent had to kill himself in the end. This is equivalent to binding the fate of oneself and the gemstone together. This is unacceptable to the system. That's why the system specifically emphasizes that binding is not recommended. Qin Hao breathed a sigh of relief. Although I didn't bind infinite gems this time, I understood one thing. It makes him happier than getting infinite gems. We at S.H.I.E.L.D will do our best to keep both items safe. Nick Fury at the moment said categorically. Then it's up to you, I don't want this thing either. But if you feel that you can't save it, you can tell me when the time comes, and I will put them into my mirror dimension. Qin Hao at the moment got a prompt from the system and gave up the idea of getting infinite gems. Send a favor directly to the other party. Nick Fury finally breathed a sigh of relief when he heard the words. It seems that the mage group is indeed to protect the Earth. They don't want something that is obviously powerful. Thor, bring Loki, we need to ask about this army. At this moment, Qin Hao thought of Loki. Infinite gems can't have it, but Loki's illusion has been fancy for a long time. The last time I went to Asgard, I touched it myself. It's just that Heimdall's sight and hearing had just been bound at that time. Let his system is in CD. But this time, my own system has not been used for a long time. Woo woo woo. The characteristic dancing sound of Thor's Mjolnir resounds. A languid Loki is finally brought to the Stark building. Loki, now tell me about the army you brought. Qin Hao walked to Loki's side, and touched him. Ding, Loki's illusion is detected, is it bound? Bind. Ding, bind illusion. An inexplicable knowledge and power entered Qin Hao's mind. Loki's illusion. Phantom. Duplication. Teleport between duplications. Stealth. Illusion. A series of abilities appeared in his mind. In this way, there are more things that can be done. Qin Hao imagined in his heart. When Loki heard Qin Hao's words, the madness on his face was no longer there. I really didn't expect that there is such a terrifying power in Midgard. I can tell you everything I know, anyway, your victory this time is just a victory. Midgard was exposed to the universe, and more attacks are sure to follow. Can you win every time? Every time, like this one, with so few sacrifices to win. Even when Loki wants to tell everyone something, he maintains his characteristic provocative feeling. You don't have to worry about this, countless battles have taken place on our Earth, and it's not the first time aliens have invaded. If we can beat them once, we can beat them a second time. We, S.H.I.E.L.D, will keep the world at peace behind the scenes. And their Avengers will make you feel deep terror. What's more, there is a mage alliance behind us. Nick Fury at the moment is full of confidence. This time, although the Avengers did not play an absolute role. But at least they're established. There was already an impression of an alliance between these men. The only trouble at the moment is that there seems to be a bit of cross-personnel. Banner is willing to join Avengers, but Hulk obviously prefers to stay with Qin Hao. Because there is Qin Hao and hatred there, I can fight with him to my heart's content. But in this battle, Captain Rogers, Black Widow Natasha Romanoff, and Hawkeye Barton seemed to be playing soy sauce. Even Tony, he felt like he was playing soy sauce. The only one who has achieved anything is Thor. With the power of one person, he guarded the gate of space. Tay. Also add the power of mage. Thinking about it this way, the role of this Avengers really doesn't seem to have much effect. On the contrary, Qin Hao, the mage, did almost everyone's work by himself. However, Nick Fury is still full of confidence. Because in Avengers, a more powerful person can also be added. 0. Seeking Flowers. Carol. The superhero whose body crosses the void. I just don't know where she is wandering in the universe now. I don't know if my BB machine can call the other party. It's good that you are so confident, but what I know is that there is actually another leader behind the Chitauri's army. Including Ebony Maw and Black Dwarf appearing this time. They are just the two generals of the other side. In this universe, countless planets have fallen under the opponent's army. Their strength is simply unimaginable. Just relying on you people is not enough. Loki wasn't lying about that. He told everyone what he knew. Everyone doesn't feel good hearing things like that. This feeling of being missed and facing crisis all the time is terrible. Let's understand these things slowly, and share the summarized information with me later. I'm going back to Camartage. Hate, are you staying here? Qin Hao has no interest in these things. He knows most things. For things you don't know, just ask S.H.I.E.L.D to share a copy of the information. He is now going to Holy Place, New York. Ancient One Mage is still waiting there. The only thing to worry about is hatred. Hulk can transform into Dr. Banner at any time. Abominations cannot transform. I am here. The hatred came out with great difficulty, and he definitely didn't want to go back. Then you have to be obedient. If you are accused of doing something bad, I will imprison you again. After Qin Hao finished speaking, a secret door appeared. Immediately afterwards, he returned to Camartage. After closing this arcane door, he opened another arcane door leading to New York's Holy Place. Master Ancient One, get it done. Ancient One at the moment looked at Qin Hao seriously. Yes, your strength is already very strong. The last thing I expected was that you could already be so familiar with fighting. I haven't been here for a while, it seems that you haven't left behind in cultivation. With such a performance, I am completely relieved. Just now, a duplication of Ancient One has been observing Qin Hao's battle in the mirror dimension. She saw Qin Hao fight with her own eyes. A flexible use of the mirror dimension can instantly cast almost all magic. You can also use the magic you have learned in a more flexible way. Such a demon mage, the whole camouflage was originally only his tongue. But now, there is finally another one. As the supreme mage, it seems that he can step down at any time. The only bad thing is that Qin Hao still has a lot of spells that he hasn't learned yet. For example, using the power of the Eye of Akmato. Because it is the power of time. Without seeing the future, there will be many unnecessary crises. Forget it, bring the other side more and think about stepping down as Supreme Mage. Qin Hao didn't know what was in Ancient One's heart, but he was also emotional in at the moment. After all, those two big guys have been serving as sparring partners for a while. One's own strength comes from real battles. It's still the usual mage who rubs and dies, touches and dies. These words cannot be said, but he also has his own problems. Master Ancient One, now that the matter is settled, will you go back to work in the dark dimension? 079 Master Apprentice Heart-to-Heart Talk. Stark takes the blame. 10 more. Master Ancient One, now that the matter is settled, will you go back to the dark dimension? Not going back for the time being, I already have a good idea of the situation over there. Next, I will tell you something special. I hope that after you learn about these things, you can stick to your heart. Ancient One at the moment looked dignified. She finally made up her mind to tell Qin Ku some important things. What's up? Qin Hao had a guess in his mind. But he still wanted to hear from Ancient One himself. You already know that our mage family is facing the invasion of the magic dimension. Among them is a very powerful lord named Dormammu. He rules the dark dimension, and what he has always wanted is to erode the entire universe. Pulls all universes into his dark dimension. Every time I go to the dark dimension, I actually face the erosion of Dormammu. You already know these things. Do you know how long I've lived? Ancient One was talking about things normally, but suddenly changed a topic. 666 years. Qin Hao blurted out. When Ancient One heard this, everyone was taken aback. How do you know? Her age, few people know. Because everyone with her is dead. After 483, she never told anyone how long she had lived. Generations of disciples gradually passed down. The following disciples only know that the master has lived endless years. However, this apprentice of himself now clearly knows his age. Hearing Ancient One's question, Qin Hao's heart trembled. What the hell, why did I say it out of my mouth? He definitely knows the lifespan of the Ancient One. The first ability he binds when he comes to this world is the longevity of Ancient One. Longevity 22/666. This is the data and ability displayed at that time. That 666 is the age that Ancient One has lived. And now, 2 years later, he has bound a bunch of messy abilities. At the moment this ability has become longevity, 24/2500. Facing the question of Ancient One now, Qin Hao is also helpless. Actually, I know about Dormammu, and even more about the fact that you absorb magic power from him to extend your life. Qin Hao began to talk about the rhetoric he had thought up a long time ago. You know. Gu, the expression on his face that had always been indifferent, turned into a little consternation at the moment. This is her deepest secret. It was because Caecilius knew this secret that he left Camartage with a group of demon mage. Now Qin Hao also knows. How will he choose? My natural magical constitution allows me to feel many different things. I can feel the magic of the dark dimension in you. At first, I thought it was because you entered the dark dimension that you had that magic power. But then I found out that even if you don't go to the dark dimension for a long time, you still have that magic in your body. So I'm guessing you've drawn the power of Dormammu. My magical constitution once again inadvertently communicated with the dark dimension and met Dormammu. Have you met Dormammu? When Ancient One heard this, his aura suddenly rose. She looked at Qin Hao with a solemn expression. I want to see if there is any special change in him. What surprised her the most was that the opponent's constitution could connect all dimensions at will. Even the world of Dormammu can be connected. Yes, I met Dormammu. He tried to convince me to become his disciple, but I refused. When persuading me, he told me that there are people on Earth who have a deal with him. That person has lived for 666 years and can continue to live. Even live forever. As long as I agree to his things, I can also obtain eternal life. My constitution is clear to me, and I can freely connect to other worlds. Why should I fasten the world to him? Dormammu was helpless, and finally gave up on convincing me. But I guessed at that time that that person must be you, Master Ancient One. Qin Hao told Ancient One the pretext he had already made up. He wasn't worried about confronting Dormammu anyway. Could it be that Ancient One would drag himself to the dark dimension? After Ancient One heard it, he was stunned. It took a long time for her to react. Since you know that I have a deal with Dormammu, why never say it or mention it? It is the erosion of the dark dimension that we mage clan fight against. However, as the supreme mage, I have a deal with the other party. Can you accept such a thing? Ancient One asked with a strange expression. I remember the last time Master told me specifically about mutant. A race must learn to save itself and cannot pin its hopes on the will of the enemy. We face Dormammu, too. I don't know the quality of mage at other times. But in our present mage on Camartage, none of them have the qualities of supreme mage. Because our mage family is not so easy to practice. Ability, will, effort, and opportunity are all indispensable. Brother Moduo has a strong will and works very hard, but his ability is not extreme. The other brothers are not as good. Without the protection of the Master, it is impossible for others to stop Dormammu's invasion. But the Master's lifespan is limited. Qin Mo sighed when he said this. This kind of thing is the most helpless. Why are the Protoss of Asgard so powerful? It is because they have a lifespan of 5,000 years. Long enough for them to grow. A strong leader can keep them going for thousands of years. The same goes for the Frost Titan. They have been fighting Asgard. The individual is strong and has a long lifespan. But humans can't. The 100-year lifespan makes it necessary for human beings to ensure a constantly talented echelon in order to maintain peace for decades. That's right, just a few decades. If someone could reach your level as the Ancient One Master, I think you should have let go long ago. But for such a long time, no one can bear this burden. So you can only constantly absorb the dark power to maintain your lifespan. Only in this way can the earth not be eroded by the dark dimension. Master Ancient One, you have worked hard these years. Qin Hao finally smiled and told Gu Dao a word of hard work. These years. You worked hard. These words kept echoing in Ancient One's ears. No one ever understood himself. Even his own disciple Caecilius learned that he had absorbed the power of the dark dimension. It is also away from oneself. But the disciple I met now. He knows his own affairs but acts as if he doesn't know. Not only that, but he also said a word of hard work to himself. Just this sentence moved her heart that had not been touched for a long time. This is a long-lost feeling. For a long time, all the disciples who came have accepted their own education. All along, he comforted them by himself. However, now finally someone began to comfort himself. This feeling. Really good. It's like the cubs I raised, suddenly grew up and became mature. Rejoice. Very pleased. Master Ancient One, did you find any problems when you went to the dark dimension this time? Qin Hao looked at Ancient One, who was in a daze, and asked immediately. Dormammu has started looking for believers in various worlds again, and there should be his followers on our Earth. But it is still impossible to know who it is, so we have to be prepared in this regard. In the next time, our whole world will be undercurrents. You need to be more serious about your magic studies. Ancient One finally showed the majesty of a master. He asked Qin Hao seriously. Okay, I will work hard to learn magic. Qin Hao had no choice but to agree. After this exchange, the master and apprentice got closer. The next thing, the two were monitoring everything that happened in New York at Holy Place. S.H.I.E.L.D. successfully took away both Tesseract and Scepter. However, this war caused damage to many places in New York. The first batch of Leviathan floating motherships destroyed many buildings. A group of Zeta Swiss soldiers from individual flight died. The corpses of these aliens and the recovery of technology have become the next thing to do. Moreover, many ignorant people are now starting to find the person responsible for this incident. Tony Stark conducts dangerous research, is responsible for the damage in New York. A carefully crafted piece of news spread across the internet. It explained in detail what happened in New York. Because of Tony Stark's clean energy research and development relationship, this New York incident was caused. Just during this period of 4.0, the Stark Group is revealing intentionally or unintentionally. Their Stark building will use clean energy. As for what this clean energy is, no one knows. But that doesn't stop someone from blaming Tony Stark for the whole thing. Who told this to happen on your mansion? Most importantly, the whole thing has pictures. The soaring blue energy column on the Stark building is seen by almost all New Yorkers. Behind this incident, it is obvious that the traditional energy industry is making efforts. They're going to nip Stark's clean energy business in the bud. Things are constantly fermenting on the internet. Some people who don't know the truth really believe this thing. But it is very strange that the person who released the news was directly invited by the government to drink coffee afterwards. Even those bigwigs in the traditional energy industry have been warned. At this time, everyone realized how extraordinary what happened in New York was. Things in New York have gradually stabilized with the passage of time. But Qin Hao received a special call. Professor X. Qin Mage, can I contact your master? I want to meet him. 080 Mutant Crisis. Qin End number 039, S Spiritual World. Qin Mage, can I contact your master? I want to meet him. Professor X's request. After receiving this call, Qin Hao felt a little strange. The other party has a good grasp of this time. His master just came out of the dark dimension, so he called. Okay, the master just came back, let me ask for you. Qin Hao hung up the phone. Master, Professor X from the mutant side has something to do with you. Ancient One glanced at Qin Hao. I left this matter to you, and I can't help them with what he has to do. I have also told you that what they do depends on self-help. If they can't learn this, their final result will only be destruction. Possessing great power but not knowing how to use it, Charles is not a wise man. Qin Hao once again heard Ancient One's evaluation of mutant. Fascinated by Qin Hao, I also heard Ancient One's evaluation of Charles. Not a wise man. This evaluation may be a bit derogatory. Okay, I see. Maybe I'll go see what they're up to. Go, I'm back, you don't have to worry about the safety of the magical dimension. Previously, you were prevented from communicating with others because you were worried that you would be affected. Now it seems that my worry is unnecessary, you can do whatever you want. Camartage, it's really boring. Ancient One made a rare joke. Understood, Master. Qin Hao opened a secret door and came directly to Xavier's school. Professor X. Qin Mo Mage. Professor X saw Qin Hao coming alone, and seemed to understand something. It seems that the other party's master is still unwilling to intervene in mutants' affairs. My master said, "Let me take care of your affairs here, and if you need my help, just tell me." When Qin Hao came here this time, he also wanted to touch 08's mutant ability. It's just that the mutant ability here is not developed, or there are other problems. Qin Hao never touched it again. He can't even bind Nightcrawler's teleportation. It seems to be because his physical density and strength have reached a certain level. Cannot teleport like Nightcrawler. Because Nightcrawler's teleportation has a meaning of decomposition and reorganization. This made Qin Hao feel a little regretful. But when he thought about it, he was already able to open the door of the secret method, and adding a teleportation would be superfluous. But it's been a long time since I've been here, I don't know if there are more mutants now. Okay, there are a few things, I said slowly. Professor X didn't force it either. After learning that Qin Hao's master would not see him, he quickly changed the subject. A few things. That's right, a few things. The first is that Jean Grey's power is now gradually awakening, and the mental cage I created for her will be broken. Originally I was looking for your master because I wanted her to help build a new spiritual cage. But since she can't come, and you are here again, maybe the two of us can create a stronger spiritual cage together. Professor X spoke his words to himself. When Qin Hao heard this, his expression was inexplicable. As a mutant, are you proud or ashamed of mutant? Professor X was taken aback after hearing this, and then spoke slowly. I am neither proud nor ashamed, I believe that we are the result of normal development and evolution of human beings. Then if this is the case, why are mutants like Jean Grey restricted? Her power is too powerful to be manipulated and needs to be suppressed. Is it suppression rather than training control? Professor X gradually felt Qin Hao's meaning from the conversation between the two. What advice do you seem to have for me? Qin Mo grinned. No, there is no suggestion, your affairs still need to be resolved by yourself. I'm just curious, as a mutant with spiritual ability, you should know what it would be like to suppress Jean Grey all the time. Long-term repression will only make her accumulated heart gradually become rebellious, and who can restrain her when she breaks out of the cage completely? I also know the danger of this matter. I also tried to let her master this power, but failed. Professor X is a little helpless. Did it fail? Forget it, let's put this matter aside for now, what else is there? Qin Hao knew that this matter could not be explained in a few simple words. Also, the love affair between Professor X and Magneto hasn't changed in decades. How could such a few words change? The second thing is that the human government announced one thing. After Professor X finished speaking, he turned on the TV. A press spokesman at the moment is talking eloquently. These mutants, just like us. All they had was a disease. It affected healthy cellular activity. But I hereby announce that you have new hope. Behind me is the most famous prison the world has ever seen. But now will Chan me to liberate mutant space. What I present here is the mutant solution. We have a shot of the cure. Only one injection is needed, and the mutant cells in your body will be suppressed. From now on, you are a normal common man. After the screen was played, Professor X looked at Qin Hao helplessly. Humanity has developed this injection that can cure mutant, and it has already begun to be implemented. Qin Hao definitely knew about it. This is the trigger for the final battle of the X-Men. People use the mutant gene on mutant to suppress mutant. This, I have to say, is ironic. What is your decision on this matter? Qin Hao wanted to know Professor X's decision. Because Qin Gileai did not lose control this time, Professor X was not broken down directly. Next, X-Men will also fight under the leadership of Professor X. That's the third thing, Magneto is already on the move. He has assembled a group of mutants to attack the treatment center. Little mutant Jimmy in the treatment center will be the center of the battle between humans and mutants. We must stop him. Professor X said righteously. Stop him? Then you just have to stop him. Also, last time I broke his helmet, can you find Magneto now? Find him directly. That's the problem, Magneto has now repaired the helmet again and I can't find him anymore. He repaired the helmet. This surprised Qin Hao a little. The production of the helmet is not so simple. Magneto's helmet has always been the one Shaw left behind. I didn't expect someone to fix it when it was broken. Yes, fixed. Then you can find other mutants, they are all together, and if you find them, you will find Magneto. It's not that simple. Even if I find them, it's useless. Now they have an absolute advantage, and our manpower is simply not enough to compete with them. Then just give up. Qin Hao actually didn't care about at the moment at all. Professor X could tell that Qin Hao seemed to have a problem with his own actions. So there's not much interest in helping them organize Magneto. However, if this is the case, why did the other party help them last time? No. It wasn't helping them last time. Last time, it was just that the other party prevented Magneto from using the brainwave strengthening device. This time, Professor X finally figured out Qin Hao's purpose. He is simply preventing events that could cause global problems. And this incident gave me the illusion that the other party was helping me. Okay, I see what you're thinking. Professor X at the moment is no longer reluctant. Mutant matter, or their mutant solution is the best. Let's go, let's build a spiritual cage for Qin Xia. Let's go. The two came to a special treatment room. At the moment Qin is thinking about something inside. Professor X, Qin Mage, you are here. Qin, today I specially asked Qin Mage to cooperate in building a new spiritual cage. I know, come on. Qin is already ready. She is not a child, and she is very clear about her own situation. If you don't want to hurt people, you must restrain the powerful force in your body. Qin lay on the treatment bed. Professor X helped her tie the restraints that bound her hands and feet. Qin Mage, we are on one side, using our spiritual power to enter the depths of her mind. Surround the will with strong destructive power in her mind. Qin Hao nodded, indicating that he knew. The two sat next to Qin's head, one on the left and the other on the right. Let's start. Both Qin Hao and Professor X exuded powerful spiritual power. These two spiritual forces slowly penetrated into Qin's mind. Get rid of those situations that shouldn't be seen. 743 The spiritual power of the two quickly came to Qin's sea of consciousness. When Qin Hao's spiritual power reached here, he was completely stunned. This is an endless world. The whole world is like a starry sky. In the starry sky, a huge fiery phoenix is constantly soaring in the starry sky. The entire universe is blocked on the other side by a smooth mirror-like wall. But there are still phoenix forces slowly infiltrating here. And on this side, Qin's spiritual body is in this world. At the moment, she was quietly staying in a cage. It looks very pitiful. At the moment's cage has been broken, it seems to be completely scrapped. In the cage, Qin can still absorb the phoenix force that travels through the universe. Qin Hao slowly circled around this spiritual cage. Then his eyes narrowed slightly. Qin's spiritual body has two sides. Qin Hao turned to Qin's back, and what he saw was still Qin's face. She has two faces. It's just that the face behind it has bruised veins. The pupils of both eyes are pitch black. Ferocious and terrifying. Even Qin Hao can feel a kind of terror when he sees this front face. Qin Mo Mage, let's start. Next, strengthen this spiritual cage with spirit to prevent the outside power from going in. The more you enter, the faster Qin's sub-personality awakening will be. Professor X explains a bit what it will do. Qin Hao understood the other party's difficulties. Alone, he could no longer suppress Qin's secondary personality. Clear. Under the control of the mental power of the two, a more powerful mental cage is completely sincere. It has become a lot more difficult for the outside Phoenix Force to infiltrate into the cage. This can really slow down the blacken of the piano. But it is only a temporary solution, not a permanent cure. The two completed the task and exited smoothly. Qin slowly woke up. Thanks. Qin, I'm curious, why don't you try the mutant inhibitor? Can it completely solve your problem? Is it easy to live in fear every day? End of the chapter. Like and subscribe for more videos like this.